Howdy, folks, and welcome to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign, live every Friday night at 8:30 p.m. here on Twitch. We're happy to have you along. Last week, of course, we were not doing our regular campaign. We did the Mysterious Morwen and the Curious X, which I'll talk about in just a second. Let me bring us out to the rest of the people who are here. I'm Joe Treff, your Dungeon Master for the evening. Joining me, as always, we have Matt, Miles, Allie, and Tina. A couple of really exciting announcements to make before we get into the recap and stuff. It has been about 2 weeks. Thank you, Talon, for the bits. And Talon, one of these actually involves you. So first, Twitter and Instagram, we have accounts there. Alberon RPG is our username. Follow us. There are pictures that come from tonight, some close-ups of the maps, the miniatures, little bits of lore and things like that float in and out. You'll see clips and highlights. So definitely follow us along there. New as of this week, we have some merchandise that is available for purchase. That is going to be, if you look down at the bottom of your screen, there is a place where you could buy it. And actually, I believe we're all wearing them at the moment. So you can see the Finger Gang t-shirt.
If you can see it.
If you can see it. Which was designed by Miles and then created on the shirt by Frederica Volova, our artist.
No lie, channeled in her Hot Topic to do this.
Yeah, super cool.
It's
the Finger Gang shirt.
As Marilyn Manson meets gorillas as possible.
But the coolest thing about it, you know, it's something that is very much our campaign kind of brought to life. So that is available for purchase if you want. Significantly more comfortable than our previous shirts. Talon, we have one for you as well. That is going to go out to you this week. We have it around here somewhere. I'm not actually sure where it physically is, but it's around.
It is.
Matt's just wearing it. It comes
shirt
pre-worn.
off his back.
Yeah.
That's what we do
So
for
anyways,
you.
yeah, super cool. Last week, if you did miss it, we have the Morwen one-shot, the Mysterious Morwen and the Curious X, which is up on Twitch for the next 2 weeks, and then will be subscriber only after that. So subscribe if you want to see it after that. We also have, so at our break tonight, we're going to give away a set of Dicey Encounters dice. So if you don't know who Dicey Encounters is, this guy drew unbelievable human being, made dice for all of us, individual sets to represent each of our characters. I have my own super sick Alberon dice with dual-toned Adventures in Alberon ink, which is so cool. If you want one of his sets of dice, he is sold out until March or April. This is the only way to get them before then. So at the break, there's going to be a keyword. I will give you that keyword, post it in chat, and then when we come back from break, I will let you know who the winner is. You're going to have 24 hours to claim your prize, then it goes to the next person. Not available in, I want to say, Quebec. Sorry, Quebec.
But they did that map for us.
That's true.
Oh,
yeah. You know what, John? If you win it, we'll make sure that
drive
you
up there myself when I go visit my friends in Montreal.
Oh, wait.
There are
yeah,
very weird laws in Quebec.
Canada's
about
totally
divorce.
involved, so we could go.
No dice allowed past the border.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, dice are banned. But anyways, we're going to be doing that giveaway, which is super cool. And finally, we have Sirenscape, which is responsible for the music, the sound effects, that kind of stuff. All coming from Sirenscape, which is a great set of digital tools for dungeon masters, players, people who just want to hear fireballs going overhead at all hours of the night. Definitely check it out. So with that, and super appropriate in terms of the music.
Nice job, Sirenscape.
Beautiful. It out pretty well with that song.
Yeah.
Let me...
It is the perfect song.
So, when we last played, almost 2 weeks ago, you guys were at the Lorebinder Academy, a huge 3-tiered library built on a campus of other buildings designed for people who are pursuing knowledge across Dominion. You met Lorebinder Boron Guntir after having inquired about some forbidden knowledge, specifically how to slay a god. Lorebinder Boron told you, well, he didn't necessarily care what your aspirations or goals were. There was a need for your services. Apparently, news of the Finger Gang has spread past Fort Quinn into other parts of Dominion. It appears that your reputation is both positive and negative.
That's pretty neutral.
It's
No.
it's
anything
regionally
but.
bound.
Balances out.
Polarizing, I would say.
In Port Quinn, you are hailed as minor heroes, and in the Sunrest Islands, you are wanted villains.
Yeah. Well,
So, currently sought by a variety of organizations, amongst them the mercenary group Obsidian's Haste, the Weaver's Circle, the Stitch Sorcerers organization, within the Sunrest Islands. Probably people back on Biss. Also probably the people taking care of Lil Mac not super happy with you guys. So in general, you guys have all accumulated a group of adversaries. However, after stopping at the Creepy Cryptids collection and bartering for a set of bracers that Guntir immediately disenchanted, just using Dispel Magic. How much money was that, by the way?
200 gold later.
Yeah. You guys set off on your journey north into the snow and towards either Kol Taram or the monastery, deciding that upon arriving at the River of Colors, you would pick a more clear path. You progressed on into the snow and eventually found a beautiful hot springs fed with water stained pink with quartz or some other kind of mineral deposit. You guys created your snow fort a la Guntir's Control Water and built a very, very comfortable igloo over part of this this spring, creating an indoor sort of hot tub and a very, very comfortable environment.
Sleeping in a sauna.
As you guys slept, and Heinrich, you staying awake, I would imagine, as is the new tradition.
Yeah, guarding and reading, alternating.
So you keep watch.
Still don't have a craft.
Yeah. Probably should have gotten one before you left town and stuff.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
But
Whittling. Snowmen. Snow people.
Airplanes. Just work on your prestidigitation.
paper's like kind of expensive for this, you know?
You have
It'll pick up.
prestidigitation? Just prestidigitate forever.
Yeah, I guess I'll just practice my spells over and over again.
Prestidigitate.
Yeah.
I'll just create a bonfire and then destroy the bonfire and then create the bonfire.
So, Heinrich, you keeping watch throughout the night as is tradition.
Yeah.
We end with other people going to sleep. Make a perception check, just sort of your general keeping watch.
13.
13. The night is fairly quiet, but you're noticing now the snow is beginning to fall. And while the wind hasn't picked up, it's coming down pretty strongly. The temperature has also steadily begun to drop, and you're very thankful for the ring of warmth that you were given.
Thank you.
You would imagine these temperatures are starting to get to the point where they would actually cause some physical harm were you not prepared for the cold. However, your group did stock up on cold weather clothing.
Right.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks to advice from Shay, who spent a significant amount of time in this climate.
Yeah.
So you watch the snow fall, steady snowfall that's quickly covering up the tracks that you guys had left going to the spring.
I'm sure that brings a little bit of relief to me as I see that happening. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and you can see just very slowly, just footsteps, Guntir's fade first, the kind of smaller ones, and then very, very light Morwen's footprints just disappear. And soon enough, all evidence of your guys' travel has sort of disappeared, aside from the massive snow fort that you were staying at.
That wasn't there before to anyone who's from around these parts.
Yes. And looking at the different wooden benches set across throughout the springs, you would imagine it's a frequented place. But
Yeah.
around midnight, you see... You have dark vision. So you would see amongst the clouds a very, very ominous sort of shape. Passing through what little moonlight it is, full moon, it's the 16th of deep winter. So yeah, right around the full moon. Through the little bit of light that's coming through the clouds, you see a dark shape move.
How big is it? Could I
With a
estimate?
13, I would say you would recognize, just being able to see it through the distorted light from the clouds, pretty big.
Okay. Where's it heading? From and to, I suppose.
Yeah, you guys have been traveling for pretty much the whole day, and you guys have been going due north. Easy enough to tell it seems to be going northeast, in the northeasterly direction. Although, again, very, very difficult to tell. It's just a moment where the clouds darken, and then that passes.
Okay. So from where we were heading to where we are heading, sort of.
Sure.
Okay.
After midnight rolls around, go ahead and make another perception check.
Another 13.
Another 13.
That's fucking good for me, so don't laugh.
Yeah, no, it is. That's great.
That's 2 above my passive. I'm like glancing up for my book.
Matt,
Dragon.
Yes.
make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Sorry, bud.
Heinrich, you, not sorry necessarily, because you do notice, again, that same similar passing of a shadow, and as it goes across...
Wait, same direction?
No, different
Okay.
direction, almost opposite this time.
Okay.
And as that happens, it doesn't entirely leave, and it gets darker, and you're aware of something quickly approaching, and as you go to shout a warning,
Uh-huh.
you would see very briefly as it goes into the ice castle and breaks through the top what looks like half of something, just half of a cow, a horse, some kind of large four-legged animal smashed through the top of this castle. What was your saving throw? 11. Guntir, in your sleep, you're having, actually, one sec.
I'm impressed that you don't have disadvantage while sleeping.
The three of you,
Oh yeah, that's
backtracking for just a moment, I need the three of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All three of us?
All three of you.
Us, me,
Yeah.
me guys.
Yeah, you as well.
Me, guys.
Ooh.
Nice
there we
job,
go.
everybody.
Con.
19.
Ah, yeah, fucking.
That's a 21.
Okay.
There you go.
And you got what? Nice.
Tried
Great.
to jump on me, but I'm still kicking.
You have you're having a dreamless sleep. After 287 years of a very hard-lived dwarven life, it comes easy to you. And you are awoken by half of a cow smashing through the top of your ice castle and directly into you. You're just taking 4 points of bludgeoning damage. It doesn't totally strike you. There's this whoosh as it slams into the snow next to you, displacing these very light flakes around in a swirl. Part of it hits you, and it's this impact of something dropped from high. This would probably wake the two of you up. And as you come to consciousness, there is broken and bits of blood still scattered out almost 3 or 4 feet from the impact site. Half of Shay would recognize an arc, but a large hairy cow-like creature native to the north.
Oh, we got company!
Do we have light? No, right?
No.
Okay. We're just using the steam so not to attract attention. Good. Okay. That's all. Just asking.
I'm getting up and I'm gonna see what the shit that came from.
Yeah, I come running in. I'm just like, "Are you guys
Same.
okay? What the hell just happened? What is it?"
you tell me you're the one I'm dying!
I saw it coming down from the sky, but it was too fast. It just fell from the fucking sky.
You're gonna buy half a cow!
What?
You would, Guntir. You would.
Shay, for your perception, it's dark. And you're seeing shapes and movement, you're hearing sounds. You can actually see that there is snow coming down through the roof now.
You said it's full moon, though, right? So it's
Full
at
moon, but
least-
it's cloudy out. So, I mean, the shapes that Heinrich were seeing were like silhouettes in the clouds.
Sure.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
Can I run out and look for the source?
Yeah, I'm going
Sure,
out.
make
to
a perception check. Yeah, you can either make it at
I'm gonna
advantage.
like, what's going on?
Sure, so either make it at advantage or each of you can roll once.
All right, that's it.
Probably, yeah.
Is it not D? No, is it
D4, yeah.
D4 for guys?
There's
Their
probably at
camera's
least
freezing.
a little
The
bit of
camera's
light.
freezing?
3?
Oh.
Your camera's
Ours is?
freezing, yeah.
Weird.
Perception.
We'll check.
It's getting some pretty funny stills.
I mean, hey, whatever. We got the audio. There's at least that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
18
All right.
perception.
18?
We're taking yours.
Okay. Again, you rush out and you, a little bit panicked, looking for the source of this thing. You were on lookout and trying to figure out where it is. Difficult to tell. The snow now picking up even more. What I will say is, Guntir,
stuff.
you not seeing anything up. At this moment you don't see anything. It's just snow coming down.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know. There was a shadow that passed back and forth, and then it was just that fell down. So I mean,
Some kind of bird drop it?
that or one of the wyverns. I mean, I don't know if there are any up here, but we saw some earlier when you're coming back from sunrest.
I'm gonna just looking
I want to
up.
go check out the auric.
I'm just like
Even
staring
though
up.
I know I
at
can't
the
see it
snow, just like,
particularly well, but I'm sure it's like in the what little light there is.
Sure. Make a. What are you trying to find out? Just look at it.
We'll call it method of death.
Make a medicine check. I'm gonna say it is a disadvantage as you're rooting around in the dark.
Well, that's not right.
I'm gonna start doing my morning stretches, but I'm
9.
gonna just be staring the whole
Okay,
time.
it's about 1 in the morning.
Oh, I'm on
9?
high alert now.
Rooting around in the dark, your hands touch something still somewhat warm, although not as warm as you would imagine a corpse to be.
Sure.
Your hands come away tacky and wet. This is not a recent kill, but definitely no more than 10 to 20 hours. You find yourself really struggling because you can't see anything.
Right.
However,
Recent-ish.
recent-ish
Okay.
is the best that you could tell.
I'll run back inside And I see you fumbling with the,
And right now, as you come back in, Shay is like touching the insides of this arc.
I
There are
kind of
parts
like
the intestines coming out.
I instinctively recoil and they go, oh yeah, hold on, and then I touch the bracer, but I like cover the top of it so it's just only the light going down, so we're not broadcasting light up. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So kind of like directing the light in like a just a little enclosed area,
Okay,
trying
sure,
to cover
yeah.
as much as possible.
Okay, so you kind of you create like a hooded lantern style
Ish,
effect,
yeah.
and put it onto this. Now you seeing it a little bit better. There are a couple things that you notice about it.
Entrails.
Entrails. This seems to be
It's just your camera's not working.
not working.
No, I'm telling you, it's freezing. Like
freezing,
they're just
yeah.
they're like every.
It's like up.
Theirs is just like,
boop boop boop.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably a
but it's even
wires,
slower
like,
than that.
you know.
I
We'll
I
fix it
told
on the break.
everyone that
Yeah.
you guys are just robots malfunctioning.
Right.
So
We'll
it's
We'll
fine.
fix it on the break.
It's just the patriarchy.
I mean, if it's
Yep.
very severe, we could just quickly check and figure out what it is. I'm sure, but
It is pretty severe, just so you know.
pretty severe. Okay.
Turn it off, turn it back on.
Yeah, maybe we'll just restart it real quick.
We'll
The
play
camera?
quick-
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because restarting the camera.
I mean,
will
everyone
restart
else is
the-
Early
working. You
session.
guys are just.
Early session ad.
No, because I don't
Technical
know when it
difficulties.
will come back. I think we'd have to turn the stream off to reconnect. the
When I've said
camera.
it, it's still been on the same freeze frame. So,
Oh yeah.
and now just changed. So
Okay.
that's how much it's
So
lagging
yeah,
right now.
so we're gonna step away real quick and just try to
Fix that camera.
shoot the trouble real quick.
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
in the head.
So we'll aim to be back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't
Be right
you
back.
worry. The cows.
Alrighty, we're back.
GG's.
So
Yay.
couple mistakes. The cow coming through the what's it called? The ice castle roof definitely took out some of our cables. So we're back now.
Palace.
Yeah, we figured it out. The battle camera will be a little bit laggy. We're having some cable issues. However, the rest of the players will be great. So that's going to be wonderful. The battle camera itself will update a little slowly, but it's still updated.
fine.
You're not moving
Next week we'll be back to normal.
Well, I'm not moving, but
There you go.
yeah. But I'm just saying, is that working? Because
So,
it's working.
let us know if
But
you
you
see
weren't
any other
moving, so you
issues.
can't.
Allie's looking at the chat, so she'll be able to tell. In the meantime, with a little bit of light
Yes.
from Heinrich, you are now able to discern this is a half-eaten auric. And you can tell that it's half-eaten because this isn't something that is cleanly killed or cut. It seems as if it has been torn. You see the flesh itself is ragged. However, with the medicine check of the style that you made, that's pretty much all you could tell.
Dragon.
This is
I say
Morwen.
out loud.
I'm
Yeah, I
wondering
mean that's what I was.
if
The
I
thing was
have
flying
seen
overhead.
anything that could have done half of a
Make a medicine check.
cow thing.
Done in half a cow.
Ooh, I don't know what the hell that is.
Don't half a cow,
I
man.
have never seen anything like that.
What'd you
With
roll?
a 7.
With the 7, yeah, it could be
Dead
any number
cow.
of things. You've seen wolves tear into wild animals before. You've seen humans. There was a time where, let's see, Guntir's history.
Might be pretty big.
Could be, yeah.
I mean, if it flew overhead and dropped it down, it was carrying it, which means it was strong enough to do that. Which is bad for any of us, because I think none of us are as heavy as this thing. Do you have any experience with large, flying, dangerous creatures?
Dragons.
Well, no, anything, really. Didn't you mention something, or someone mentioned something?
I guess it could be a dragon. I don't think
Shay
it was a
mentioned that-
dragon, though.
Amongst the flora and fauna of the north, there are giant eagles, and rarely, but often enough that you've actually probably seen one, there are rock, which are huge bird-like creatures that, wingspan of about 80 feet.
Right.
I'm going back inside.
We are inside. Now inside is out. Outside is inside too.
I think you can fix the hole, Guntir.
Do we stay?
Do we stay here? Yeah, what's going... No, this is dangerous. Something's flying around like that. Should we at least go...
Everywhere.
Yeah, it could squash us.
Well, sure, but if we stay here... I don't know. I don't feel so safe right now.
I'm getting
Is
back.
it going to
in the
come
hot
back?
Okay. As you guys discuss this, Morwen just kind of treks into
tub.
the...
I'm literally talking about whether or not we should stay here while getting into the hot
So you're
tub.
walking backwards and it's just like going up and up and up, and then you're like, yeah...
No, I'm just gonna. No, I think I'm on the other side of the hot tub. I picture this over here, and I'm on this side, and I'm just gonna be like, I don't know, guys. I don't think it's really safe. And then I'm just
So
gonna.
Morwen disrobes.
Think we better roll out.
Yeah.
I pee.
Within the beautiful rose quartz hot spring.
It turns kind of brown with the color combination.
Oh, there's
Nothing
blood got in
visibly
here.
changes, you know.
Ew.
But you are aware that there is Cappy in there now. So do with that what you will. What do you guys want to do?
I don't feel comfortable letting you guys go back to sleep here. My eyesight's not too great. I mean, it is and it isn't.
We're
It's a
also
missus.
going to be walking out into a blizzard at night
So then,
in dark clothing that stands
Yeah.
out against the snow.
yeah.
It's really cold.
Can we do this again, but you just keep like better watch?
Yeah, that's
Fine,
pretty
I'll
good.
I'll try.
You know, just one thing.
Fine, I'll try like climbing up higher or something and coming back.
Well, no, don't put
You
yourself
know,
in danger, but don't also put us in danger. Is all I'm saying.
Just, you're looking for a hobby.
She's saying
All right.
naked, hanging out in the
Looking
hot.
out for your friends.
I
How about
have
that's a
been
good
trying.
hobby?
I tried to do that. I will try
Stay
again.
up with you for a bit.
You
keep
missed
an eye
the
on things.
half of a cow that almost killed
Well,
me.
I saw it falling, but too late, obviously.
Oh yeah, a little too late. Well, no big deal.
Whatever.
Just
All right, Guntir.
almost.
Sleep
Almost
toward the
died.
edges of the wall. You'll be fine.
Yeah, try to get under. Didn't you say when you described this place originally that there was like a bit of a rock outcropping that we kind of formed this
Yeah.
onto? Just sleep under the rock.
Sleep under the rock.
And whenever you're done with your bath, Morwen, I would suggest the same.
I'm gonna
Try to take more solid cover than our ice wall. That's all. Suggestion.
resistance.
Okay.
I'm going.
There's this brief of energy that passes on to Guntir as he caresses himself.
As he always does, and I am now comfortable. Well, not comfortable, but familiar seeing.
It's another year or so until we're comfortable.
I don't
If
think I ever will be.
even that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't know.
All right, I'll hop out of my bath and do a
Puff up.
get a little dry,
Get all puffed up.
get a little dressed,
Okay.
and I'll snuggle up to Guntir.
All right. So about 1:30 now, after a quick bath.
Is it wet?
A little bit.
It's a little damp.
Yeah, she's a little damp. She just
like
shook.
Shake dry
Yeah.
off?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I probably use like a, I don't know.
Oh, you
Something
know,
towel
the
that-
complimentary towels hanging around.
Yeah, maybe I use part of the bedroll. I don't know.
A leaf. I don't know. Fuck it.
I made a
Reasonably
snow
dry.
towel.
It's not like
I'm
a
going
soaking
back to
wet
bed.
rag.
Yeah, exactly.
So the three of you return to sleep.
No,
I'm gonna
not
stay
yet.
up for a little while with
Okay.
Heinrich.
Yeah.
So the two of you make a perception check. It's getting close to about 2 a.m. now.
If anything throws another half a cow
16.
at me, could you let me know?
You're
Wake
top-
me up
9.
first.
You're talking to your
29.
dreams.
29. Okay.
Hey, I got a fucking 16.
You did.
Come on.
And it's fairly quiet. The blizzard now intensifying. It is getting difficult, even within the space. Beyond the doorway, you can see elements of the pink water, and then as the snow is falling steadily, mist is beginning to rise because there is this cold snow hitting this warm, hot spring. Warm, hot spring. Hot spring.
Hot spring. Hot,
Not
hot
to be
spring.
redundant. The hot spring.
Yeah.
Hot spring. One of my favorite. So you're having some trouble seeing.
Yeah.
With a 16, you feel confident that there is nothing immediately within the vicinity that is threatening you.
Which to me means that this was just like passing by and dropped half its snack.
Perhaps.
I would assume.
Yeah.
That is how I feel.
Shay. this is your home. Not quite there. You know, you're a little bit south. This is still a fairly, maybe not warm, but a unfamiliar climate in a way. But you're attuned to the space and the sounds of an environment like this. A blizzard is a very comforting thing for you. And so within those sounds of shifting trees and this howling wind, you hear one other sound. And it's a long... Oh, it's Guntir sleeping.
It's Guntir sleeping.
A long drawn breath with some nasal
But
rumbling.
after Guntir is sleeping, you hear a further sound, not Guntir related in any way, as far as you could tell. Overhead, somewhere in the dark, you hear a long, very, very high-pitched, almost mournful screech is the best way of putting it. And it echoes through the mountains to the northwest, and you have never heard something like that.
Does it sound like it's circling? Does it sound like it's moving in any direction?
With the 29, it sounds as if it is circling in a fairly wide way. You wait for a little bit, another 10 minutes goes by, another 20 minutes goes by, and to the south you hear a very similar long... it eerily sounds like you would imagine like a bat's echolocation, almost.
That
and
high pitch, huh?
Very high pitched.
Okay.
I mean, you with a 29 are barely hearing this through the wind, but somewhere.
Okay.
Well, what is it? Because obviously I see you staring intently and tracking it. I message into your head, what is it? Sorry.
I'm not sure.
All of a sudden, no, she's really distracted. This very intrusive occurrence.
Let's not distract her and put thoughts in her mind.
20 more minutes goes by.
Wait,
And
never mind.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say that it was an aside. It wasn't important for the story.
Another 20 minutes goes by, and this time you don't hear anything else.
I think it's moved off.
Okay, that's good.
Whatever it is.
Then I guess we are safe enough here for the night. Obviously, it's all relative. We're never safe anymore, but...
There's probably nowhere in the world that we're safe anymore.
yeah, I mean, first-hand experience with that, yes. Well, if you need rest, I'll be up, so don't worry about it.
Wake me if you need something.
Okay,
Can you
will
do
do.
something about
Huh?
that's...
Don't worry, I was going to take care of that. And my next thing, my craft for the evening,
Okay.
was turning that meat into rations in a way, if I could.
Okay, sure. Make a
Yeah, like what would...
make a nature
Culinary
check.
shit,
Make a
dude.
nature check.
Okay.
Because this is harvesting.
Yeah. Nope. It's all rotten.
What is it?
It's a 2. It's a natty 1, but
No.
a 2.
I mean, it takes you some time, and it's messy work, and the snow.
Yeah, I've never done this before.
You know, it's cold. You have done this before.
Oh,
and it's cold.
I have done this before.
I don't have you.
It's been a while.
No, I just said
All
I
of us
haven't
must have
done
at
this
some
before.
point. Oh.
Not in this exact
No,
way.
you're a city
Yeah.
boy anyway.
No,
Hunter just
I'm not.
eats it raw.
It
But
is an
I've
inelegant.
caught like animals.
It is
small
an
animals.
inelegant process.
Yeah.
However, you do end up with, give or take, we're going to say like maybe 6 rations worth of auric.
Okay.
Oh, you should do something with the skin. I say in my sleep.
Well, hopefully that would be. Yeah. How is the
shreds.
leather quality? How are the bones kind of stuff? Is this like
Make an investigation check.
sure? I just want to see if it's even worth.
Yeah.
Well, given that I have so much time, I feel like I would be able to take
Okay,
my time
let's
with it.
Factor
you know?
that in.
All right. Oof. There we go. Investigation. That is 23.
23.
Anything that I could use that is practical.
Make one of those little hand warmers that
You find 3 things.
Okay.
The first 2 things that you find as you're shifting through and trying to test like the quality of this leather, it could potentially be made into leather. It's
Right.
it's cow skin.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Not anything. I mean, you take a quick glance
Nothing
around and you can see
protective.
Morwen's like armor that becomes different shapes
yeah.
and stuff like that. It could maybe be helpful,
Okay.
but not like that.
Sure.
However, you do find within the torn bits of leather themselves 2 teeth, approximately 3 inches long,
Uh-huh.
sharp, serrated on the inside, and again, somehow almost like sharpened again on the outside. You can't imagine a comfortable mouth situation for like a two-sided bladed tooth to really fit in.
Sure.
You also find, and now that you're really looking through areas that you've carved away from the meat, there are these weird sort of holes that at first you imagined had maybe veins or something that had been torn away when this cow was ripped in half. And you're realizing these are not natural. And as you
Like
prod,
boreholes?
as you poke and prod, you feel something within one, and pulling it out very carefully, about this long, there is a long, bony, almost like a proboscis, perhaps a stinger of some kind. And you begin to think about that meat that you just harvested.
Yeah. Good thing I fucking did that.
I was in my mind trying to think, how should I have him mark that so I'll remember it's really poisonous? But you get the sense
I'm gonna
that
undo
is certainly...
I'm gonna undo those real quick.
Undo and just put the cow back together.
Not
No.
necessarily-
Undo my writing. I have a yeah.
Not necessarily useless, but not something you'd want to eat.
Correct.
Well,
I suppose I could keep it for.
poison steaks.
Well, you know, I mean, poisoning someone we
Send
don't
it
like.
to someone.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Throw it at an old.
So it was
I would
5.
give one to them
Six.
all.
Six
rations.
poison.
Give them all.
Rations.
All. Make them eat it all.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good to know.
Doing a nice
I'm going
rhyme
to.
over there.
Can I make? How long does it take? Because I feel like Hunter would know this. But how long does it take to fashion a not disgusting, sopping wet, bloody, but cleaned bag of like hide?
I mean, you have to tan the hide, so you would
So
need to
take,
stretch...
like-
it would
It would be
it's
like
several
drying
weeks.
process and all that
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. So there's nothing really from the cow that I could do. All right. Well,
It's not scary.
first and foremost,
You
dragging
also
this-
need tanner's tools. You could theoretically
course.
do it on the road over the course of several days.
right? But this isn't that.
Yeah.
I don't have like a freaking wicker stretch
It's not an
thing
easy
on my
climate
back.
to tan something.
And this is
either.
also not the time of year for
Right.
that.
Yeah, it would be like ice. So with that poison rations, I'm going to. I think I have like a spare bag from something. It was from those. Yeah. So the like pieces of greystone from that temple in the desert
Yep.
way long ago. I had that pouch. I think I dumped that greystone out a while ago and just
You
had a
did?
pouch. So I'm going to like mark that bag
Okay.
somehow. I guess singe it in like a pattern maybe
Okay.
that I would recognize as being poison. And then put the meat in there, or the rations, poison rations in there, and then just in the bag.
Okay.
And then proceed to remove the corpse and just clean up so that no one like reaches over in the morning and touches it.
Okay, make it. An arc is even this half of an arc is
Uh-huh.
looking at like 350, 400 pounds.
I
so-
would take time, like
Okay.
just
Yeah.
like not just pulling the whole thing. I could take it apart.
True,
I also
okay.
started to anyways.
It takes So as
Oh wait,
you
how many?
harvest it
Sorry,
and pull
three
pieces away.
3 teeth, by the way.
2 teeth
Two
and a stinger of some kind.
Okay.
The stinger itself, like close to 8 inches long.
Okay. How? What's it? Is it solid?
Yeah,
Is
it seems to be made out of bone.
Okay, so 2 double-serrated teeth and 1 bone proboscis. Proboscis, whatever.
And as you take it apart and like pull parts of it out, there is a smell to the meat that is very, very unpleasant. It's almost like cedar at first, but a cedar that has like an element of rot, like that cheesy kind of smell you can get in really old wood. It has been heavily like waterlogged and damaged. And
That doesn't trigger anything for me, right?
you
You say rot and already I'm just like scared.
Make a standard intelligence check because this.
It's vague. Intelligence would be 14.
Nothing really comes to mind. It's
Okay.
not that kind of smell necessarily.
I don't feel like the presence of
No.
her chasing us. Cool. So I
Okay. And you haul it out and leave
piece
it.
by piece.
Yeah.
How are my dreams doing?
Far enough away.
You guys already made your Constitution saving throws for the evening, so you were fine.
Nice. Pleasant.
Einrich, the night progresses, and it is tense at first after you finish your task and continue. Make a perception check for the last watch.
Oh god, here we go. Oh, 16 again. Thanks, Drew.
The other comes in.
Yeah. Wait, we gotta figure out a way where I can just go and like extract from Guntir the guidance while he's sleeping. Just like,
touch him.
like you
Guidance.
sleeping? Okay.
You have to do it reverse, so it would be Edwig.
Yeah, it'd be yeah.
Rested.
The hours go by, and though the snow is getting harder,
Mm-hmm.
it seems to go without issue.
Okay.
You guys need to sleep a little later because you did wake up and spend some time investigating what was happening. But you went to bed fairly early, right around 8 o'clock. You guys will be rising. I need a constitution. Oh, actually, fun fact. I no longer need a constitution saving throw from you every day.
Oh shit!
I'm healed?
You're not healed.
He's Benjamin Buttoning.
So,
We're gonna
you
baby
find
Guntir.
consciousness. And
Yeah.
it is a dark gray morning.
I'm being cryogenically frozen.
And as you look outside, I mean, this is a snowstorm unlike anything the three of you have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
In 287 years, you have not ventured this far north.
Mm-hmm.
And
Pretty cloudy.
in the world of Alberon, snow does not fall in many places. It falls north of Dominion. It falls in the Northlands, which is Calamore, I think is the technical name for it. And then it falls a little, well, used
I mean,
to
was
fall.
it weird in Port Quinn when we saw the snow?
No.
Okay, so then yeah.
That's like that's
That's
the
Northern
furthest
Dominion.
south that you're really going to see snow, maybe in Greenfield, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, it's fairly uncommon. And so for you, you've never seen anything like this. It is sheets of gray. You remember seeing the hot springs coming in. You can't even see the first area where the pink water curves into the cave. It's just snow. It is brutally cold out.
Well, shit. Do we even?
This is awful.
How do we even move through
It's
this?
so cold.
Very slowly.
But, like-
Give me another one of those.
With what bearings? I can't
Cold
even
weather
help you with
gears.
light here. It wouldn't do anything.
I have an extra one
Of
of winter
cold weather.
clothes.
I'm doubling up.
Oh, I put it on myself.
Yeah. Okay. So you dressed in cold weather clothes.
So Guntir and I have
Ring
rings.
ring of warming.
yeah.
Ring of
Yeah,
warming.
yeah, we're good.
And two, you might be like on the verge of overheating at this point.
I take another one off.
You guys are all like kind of shivering. You look over, Gunter's sweating. He's like a fat dude in Boston in December, like a white beater on. So
Give me
yeah,
a nice coffee.
cold weather clothing, rings of warming. What are you doing?
For warmth,
Yeah.
or I've changed into the
Okay.
winter robes.
So you have your winter garments on. You guys could progress without too much trouble. If you had not picked up cold weather clothing, it would have been extremely cold climate, and so you would have been taking Constitution saving throws every hour. However, you do not need to do that
Thank
as you are
you.
properly prepared.
Yay.
The going is going to be slow, and it is difficult
Can't
to
see
navigate.
shit. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm asking. Is do you know these lands well enough that we wouldn't just like walk off a cliff?
Well enough.
Okay.
I'm not gonna walk off a cliff.
Well, yeah. I mean, I trust you.
Or step on some lake and fall in some chilly waters.
Right. Maybe poke our way ahead of us. That's
How
that
much
fancy
further are
expanding
we?
stick of yours.
To be slow.
Yeah. So, anyways, how far from here do we estimate? Do you know specifically how far until the River of Colors?
Pretty close. Right?
Yeah, you would know in normal conditions, probably about an hour and a half. And
Take
the
a
trees that
longer.
you were amongst on the path, not terribly thick, but you know that in about an hour and a half there's going to be a wood line that abruptly comes to a stop.
Mhm.
And then beyond that should be the River of Colors. However, in this snow, and with your party, probably about 4 hours.
Oof.
Okay.
And then we'll get stuck at night somewhere fucking out in the open.
You would probably also know,
Mm-hmm.
past the River of Colors, maybe, give me one sec, like another hour to the north, you would begin to reach the base of the mountains. The Gate of Ascension is there, which leads to the God Walk, and eventually, if you were to take a more easterly approach from there, you could get to the Giant Step.
go that way
You would also know that you could, at that point, diverge to the east and go through the frost line, which would take you directly through the Wood of Dreams, which you would know is the most dangerous part of the frost
I
line.
don't want to do that.
Oh, the Wood of Dreams sounds so nice, though.
Let's
In a
let's
way.
focus
Whose
on
dreams?
making it to the River of Colors first, because it's going to be slow going in these conditions.
Yeah, I mean, the more
Um,
we sit around too,
The
faster
longer the
night
stake.
approaches.
The longer the stakes, and ultimately the longer we're stuck, and who knows how long this blizzard will take.
Right. I mean, I'm ready when anyone else is. And by the way, that meat was fucking poisoned. There was some teeth, and I pulled them out like these were in it. And I pull out the proboscis.
Yeah.
Someone will correct me
Proboscis.
many times,
Would I
probably.
be able to make?
And I pulled that out too. Like, this was
the
also in it that
proboscis,
poisoned it.
What would you want to make out of it?
Like some sort of weapon.
You could
Have-
certainly try.
Have any of you guys
Wouldn't
seen
be
anything like
smithing unless
this?
you can convince me that you would smith in some way with it. But it is
Like-
bone.
Add like a hilt to it or something. Is it such that it could be some sort of like
Potentially.
stabby thing?
Potentially.
I'm
You
holding
could
them.
certainly
I'm
try.
holding them like close to me though,
Oh.
so he can't grab them out of my fucking hands like he always does. Same
Yeah.
with you two. So the two bones and the proboscis.
Proboscis.
How large is it?
This one's 8 inches. These are 3.
Make like a little dagger.
The proboscis,
Yeah. I mean,
Proboscis.
potentially, you could certainly try.
the probe.
a nice little dagger for you.
Is it anything that
I'm good.
I would
I got a lot of time on my hands
recognize,
now
or
without
no?
being able to
Make
sleep,
nature
so
check.
I'll try my own.
Teach you how to do it.
That would be fun. There are 2.
Natural
Yeah, you
20.
gotta do it before I go to bed, though.
Right, later.
You know.
You don't recognize it, and beyond not recognizing it, there's nothing about the material of this that
can
seems
show ya.
native to the north. You're looking at it now, and as you really look at this proboscis, though, it is bone, and you're noticing now there is this like, so it's a long thing that comes to a very, very narrow point, and the point itself is not like it doesn't just end in a point. There's actually a very, very small opening, and you can see like this kind of purplish liquid at the edge. Outside of that, this isn't an animal that you're familiar with at all.
Can I check
I don't even
it
think I would hold on to that.
Okay. And can I like put it in the water and try to clean it?
Sure.
out? Wait, can I
I mean, you switch
Try to
it
get all the
around
poison
with
out of it?
warm
Wait, can I try
water.
to check it out too, though?
What are you checking for?
I just want to see if it looks familiar to me too.
Make a nature check.
Here, these things.
17.
You look at it, and there is an element of it that reminds you of something a little bit to the north of Dungannon. There's a desert before you get like to the Meadowlands proper. Within that desert, there are massive scorpions.
And I was thinking
And
that
there's
scorpions are.
part of this that reminds you of those scorpion tails, certainly in terms of like the way that it delivers venom. This is larger than the scorpions that you've seen, and it doesn't quite match in terms of the color and the way that it's formed, but it reminds you of that.
Plus it had teeth.
Say it's from a really big scorpion or a really, really big bee.
Maybe.
With teeth. All right.
Bees bite.
Bees can bite, but with, well. All right, on we go.
Your point?
Maybe.
This
Those
one?
teeth could have
This
been
point?
like this.
This point? I don't
I
actually.
snatch it.
No, you don't.
I try to
No,
snatch
you
it.
don't.
If you already said that you went like that, make a competing what's it called, an athletics check, competing athletics check.
I hope I don't let go of it and stab.
You're better at it.
Natural 20.
No, you
Sorry.
can't. I can't.
Yeah.
There's no
so
point.
as you just go ha, and just Morwen instantly, and you see the eyes at the same time as
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hand
just
moves. You grab it, and you are now holding a proboscis.
You can keep that. These are cooler anyways, right, Guntir?
I go.
That thing was like,
I go
you
to,
can't make a dagger out of it. It was like a straw.
Let's see. Because I built the snow necrotic.
Oh, yeah.
Is that still intact? That didn't get hit, right?
No, it's roughly intact. Yeah, there's parts of it. It was kind of closer to the door, and so the wind is like piled up around like the ankles and stuff. It's like starting to get a little snowed on, but it's still there.
I'm gonna point at it with this probe and say, "Wingardium."
Oh, no. I was
Leviosa."
hoping you wouldn't do that.
Does anything happen?
Marwin dies instantly.
No.
I poke it.
You can see on the snow necrotic several proboscis-shaped holes appear as you poke the proboscis into it. It's a proboscis.
Just as
I-
expected.
Draw in the
We're
snow.
walking, right? Let's walk. So we're walking as she's doing
A,
this.
a crude self-portrait of myself, so it's just a cat and like.
Make a performance check, and you kind of notice them starting to walk, and so it's a hurried.
That's a bad idea to leave a trace. By the way,
Heinrich would remember the tracks being covered very quickly last night. So
no, it's a bad idea.
The blizzard will take care of it
17.
before long.
You make this
I wouldn't
very
have even
comical,
seen her
and Morwen recognizes even as she's doing it, this is going to get blown over pretty quick. But you do this very, very simple cat outline that just in the way that the whiskers bend and the eyes are kind of gleaming does look a little bit like Morwen. Any of your group would definitely recognize.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
This is Guntir from up, and as you see Guntir's cloak disappear into the
Looks
the gray.
good, kid. See ya.
All right, I brush it away with my tail and I run up and give you your little wand back.
Okay.
It's boring.
Oh, thanks.
You now have a
No,
proboscis.
you don't. No, you don't. Stop taking my stuff. You especially. I still don't even know what you stole from me.
Are you trying to take it?
Yeah.
God, it's just like athletics.
Yep.
This is such a waste of time.
We're having fun, Miles.
No, this is bad
Fun
stuff.
fact: this is part of why I gave you the handy haversack.
Yeah, well, I was just trying to talk about this
Yeah,
and see
I
if
know.
anyone recognized it, and immediately a game of like keep
Yep.
away. It's 14.
16.
Yeah.
I
I didn't have it. The other one's just like, you know what?
It never makes it into your hand. As Morwen gives it to you, Hunter just takes it right out.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it and see, like, can I make this
Make
into
a nature
little,
check.
like,
I'm putting
dagger
these.
kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm putting the teeth in my bag. They are
So
in my
you're
bag.
saving
Poison
them
I don't
later
fucking care.
to work on as like a
I'm
dagger.
paying attention on
Yeah.
navigating
Well,
at
I'm
this
seeing
point.
if I
Yeah,
can
I'm
do it
trying to
before
as
I
well.
presumably hold on to it.
Make a. This is gonna be just like a general intelligence check, unless you have proficiency with tinkerer's tools.
No.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, no worries.
19.
So, looking at this, there are parts of it that you imagine, yeah, you could make a shiv out of it, basically. It's not a cutting-edged tool, and so a dagger, perhaps not the best use, but you begin to think about maybe as a spear or something a little bit longer range as a thrusting point versus a dagger.
All right, I'm gonna put that away.
Okay.
I can make a spear or something.
I'm not paying attention to you. I'm mad you took my toy.
I'm just saying.
Oh, good.
One gold eye, one black eye, unblinking into the horizon.
Yeah, just kind of.
As you guys walk, what is your marching order, and where are you heading?
To the River of Colors
the river.
first.
Due north.
Yep,
Sure.
That way.
Who's leading?
me.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
I'm right behind. I would try my best to help, just
Make a
as we
flat
did.
roll then. This would be at disadvantage. It is dark.
Yeah, just as we did basically across the plains.
Sure.
That's kind of how I'm.
15.
15.
Okay.
So you begin to walk. You are trekking through snow that now is getting close to like the 1.5 foot mark. For you, for Guntir, for Morwen, it is fairly difficult going.
Mm-hmm.
This is beginning to rise up to the point where, had you not equipped yourself properly for this journey, this would be a very, very dangerous situation. However, undaunted by the cold, in part aided by the rings of warmth and by your cold weather gear, you make pretty steady progress. An hour goes by and you see the trees now passing, less and less green and brown visible, now just holders of this white material that has just gathered as far as the eye can see. Shay, you being from here, you are noticing there are differences within the patterns in the snow. You can see off to the right as you're passing by an area where the snow is misshapen and probably represents a series of boulders that stack up and rise out. And you're noticing a little bit more, there are elements of ice mixed into the snow. And you're seeing where maybe in the springs and summers there might be just little rivulets of water coming away from the primary spring as you get to like 3.5 hours in. You're suddenly beginning to see now ahead of you through the gray, there's a line where the trees just stop. And beyond that, it just seems gray. You cannot see the river. However, you are beginning to be able to hear it. So, you would recognize at this point probably no more than 200 feet away, hearing just the faintest trickle of water beneath ice.
Yep.
River of Colors somewhere ahead of you.
Okay.
And I would say, knowing that Heinrich would probably be keeping an eye out as well, eyes to the sky, you haven't seen any kind of shadow, no sign of movement from a large creature above you.
Okay.
I'm gonna check to see if anything's following
Make a
us.
perception check.
So here's the
Passive
point.
14.
Okay. As far as you can tell, you are
Are
alone.
we going straight to the monastery?
I think that's what we decided on is the best. Because if there's any help that we can gain from your people before we go to a place that none of us know, well, you maybe a bit. I don't know if you've been there, but.
Hey, you think your friend's gonna be there?
Yeah, do you think your friends are gonna
Which
be there?
friend?
The one whose butt I wanna whoop.
No, they're...
What about the butt I want to whoop?
Don't know how to answer that one.
Morwen's now like kind of falling behind, just looking up into the snow. Slight nosebleed.
No, they're another place that we will have to go eventually, but not yet.
Seems most sound decision though, right? I mean, right? Help before we go.
Oh, yeah. No, totally. We should go there first. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Maybe stay there. I don't know.
What are we doing?
Going to the monastery, it seems. So come along, you two.
Now, Shay, if you are
Gladly.
leading to the monastery, you know once you cross the River of Colors, you are going to come to a point where there are at least 3 relatively close different directions you can take. There are many more.
Yep.
And none of them are the ones that you would take. Actually, the Gates of Ascension you might take to get to the Godwalk.
Yep.
If you were feeling like taking a particularly precarious shortcut.
I felt like being dangerous right now.
You could recognize that this party would almost certainly, without significant
Not
magical means, be
Gonna
able to
make
do it.
Not gonna make it.
But you could. You know that there is the Gate of Ascension that goes up and around this first mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And you also know that you could... beyond this mountain is the Valley of Yagor, which you guys heard a little bit about. There are different ways you can wind your way through the mountains. There are old mines that you can maybe find and pass through. Somewhere around here is one of the fallen Dwarven citadels, theoretically.
And it's not too late in the day right now, right? We don't have to worry about shelter yet.
It's not even
Yeah.
noon.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
you guys are right around 11 o'clock as far as you could tell. You also could divert, and this would put a significant amount of time onto your journey.
Mm-hmm.
You could head back into the northern reaches of the Knoll Hills, a lot further than where you guys traveled, and then into the Frost Line. And then in the Frost Line, there's several ways you could progress.
We're not going through the frost line. I'm not going through the frost line. You guys can do what you want.
Well, I mean, you know this place, so we're not going without you, that's for sure.
What are we doing?
Safest, not longest, necessarily. That's...
We'll go through the Gates of Ascension and try to find our way through the...
Is that up or is that through?
Yes.
As in mines or no? Are we outside the whole time?
Once you take...
Depends.
So the Gates of Ascension, it used to be the gate to what was a giant city. Sort of the perimeter defenses. And at the moment, because those were established in the Second Age, all that remains are these 2 massive stone pillars that would have held the gate itself. It's called the Gates of Ascension because after you progress, there is a huge path that winds up, very Skyrim style,
Okay.
kind of
Just
up a mountain
steep as
with
shit and
steep, but there
switchback-
are
switchbacks and stuff.
bits of like stone stairs that have been built up to like help people travel through. This was a fairly well-traveled place before Kol Taram had its initial batch of troubles in the early 600s. 600 TA. You know that you could... There are definitely ways to travel through mines. There's a lot of mines in these hills, and there's many that are still functional, and there are many that are abandoned for very good reason. So you would need to be very careful. Taking the Gate of Ascension up to the Godwalk, or you could theoretically...
Not with this group. We're not going to the Godwalk.
Yeah, you could cut across the actual mountain itself.
Yeah.
Still fairly dangerous, and it's going to take you through the peaks that the rocks do make their nests in. Not nesting season in any way, shape, or form, but still not a safe place to be.
No. I could do it. You guys couldn't do it.
Is that a challenge?
Sure, Guntir.
No, it's not. It's not, Gunter. It's not a challenge.
I like challenges.
I like challenges too.
Again, I have no previous knowledge.
We accept your challenge.
I don't. No.
Come on.
You know this place best. I can't make this decision. I just say...
We'll go through the gates. We'll go through the mountains. If there's a mine that presents itself that's safe, we'll go that way.
Okay.
And if we win,
You live.
and
You get to keep that proboscis.
but I'm already keeping.
And then I message to him, watch
tell you
yourself
what,
while you
Guntir.
sleep. I don't do
Every
that.
bit of coin that is on my person is yours.
Wait a minute.
Do we really need to convince him? We could just leave him here and he'd eventually
No,
get bored
I'm
and catch
coming,
up.
but
Okay.
if we're taking a challenge.
Oh, you're actually betting? You're gambling. I see.
It's a challenge.
All right.
I have some stakes in the challenge.
All right.
Oh, you get to eat the steaks.
Very well,
Oh, we
Guntir.
don't want the stakes.
When we
They're
pass through
poison.
the gates, I'll point out the challenge and you can decide then.
Losers have to eat the steaks.
Okay.
So after
I'll play your game, Shay.
After tricking a 287-year-old man, you
To fall to his death.
you
Eventually.
recognize that you are about 50 feet away from the tree line, and then beyond that lies the River of Color.
Now, wasn't there a creature that we were warned about that lives in this
There
river?
was. You guys were warned about a creature called the Shrenu.
Right. Now, is there a safe passage across this river for those of us that
Frozen this
cannot
time of
walk
year.
on it? Yeah.
It's
That's-
frozen.
That makes noise.
Well,
Okay.
If you're quiet.
Yeah, but
Yeah, just shut
not
up.
all of us are like 90 pounds like you. All right, let's go slow and try. Oh, wait. How wide is this river?
How wide is this river?
The area that you would typically cross is fairly wide.
Is it more than?
Close to 500 feet.
I was just about to say, is it more than 500
That
feet?
being
Because I
said-
have a solution.
There are areas that are as narrow as 10 feet. It really depends. The River of Colors is not just one river. It splits into several. And it's called the River of Colors because it is different mineral deposits from several springs across Dominion feeding into this where they kind of swirl together and don't quite mix. Some of these minerals adding like a viscous quality, and so they swirl.
Sure.
It's a beautiful river.
But it's not frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know of around here where there might be a more narrow passage? The wider seems just more dangerous for no reason, unless that throws us way off our path.
I mean, given where we are in the current weather conditions.
What are we afraid of?
The
Shrenu.
Shrenu. Something that lives in the water, where we've already had a lot of bad underwater experiences. I'd like to continue to avoid those.
Big
You would
fish.
remember, Lorebinder Boron did tell you it was a very uncommon creature, and the likelihood of running into one fairly low, as long as you stay away from the water.
Are we a common group?
I've not
Fair
seen one so far in my
Okay.
passage. So.
It's frozen. We just walk right over. What's the
That's okay.
What's the big deal?
Sure. Let's cross. If this is can we? If there's any slightly narrower nearby, maybe just edge that way and come back. Just a little minor detour.
Sure.
So you guys exit the tree line.
Yes.
You lead.
Yes.
Keeping an eye out for trouble, obviously.
Obviously.
We are on our fucking guard this entire time.
Yeah.
After a cow woke us up.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm still looking up, just like.
Make a perception check.
Yeah, I'm checking behind us.
You already made yours.
Passive 17.
Okay.
Jesus.
So just as a note about passive, there are certain things that passive doesn't.
It was
work
also a
for.
regular 17.
Great.
So.
Fantastic. Looking around, you don't see anything above. It is so dark with all the snow. I mean, this is a blizzard, and you have trouble imagining if there was something even 40 feet above you that you'd be able to see it. Never mind a cruising altitude of a huge winged creature.
It's really cloudy.
It is. As you progress and walk out, you emerge and feel very vulnerable. As you can't see very far, but as far as you can see, this is just flat white. There are no trees. There are no rocks. But as you walk, 50 feet go by, and all of a sudden, in front of you, a little ways away, you can see the edge of this ice that begins to form, and even underneath, still parts of it actually glowing faintly from what you would imagine. You would have no idea, actually, glowing somewhat faintly and very eerily. These beautiful swirls that push up against the top of the ice, and you can actually still see some of the color. Where you are is not a terribly wide part to the river. But go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, thank goodness. While she's doing that, I tap my boots
Okay.
just to have them on in case.
Yeah, yeah.
22.
You feel in the snow. Where
Would
you're
I
kind of
lift
behind.
on top of the snow? Cool.
You up
Yeah.
above the snow itself.
Hilarious! I'm walking on the snow. It's like
Um,
jelly.
But interestingly, I mean, your weight still applies, so the snow gets displaced
I'm
down. So
walking
you're
on
just
a Tempur-Pedic
it's an
mattress.
uncomfortable kind of, yeah. It's like it's always just a little softer than you would like it to be.
Okay.
However, what is it?
22.
22. Let me show you.
Ah, shit.
Easiest one to find because it's colored. So in front of you, you're seeing
Pretty.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Seeing the
jeez.
map,
I'll
though.
line that up to this thing. So there's something else I have to draw onto this. Unless I actually brought it, but I don't think I did.
You accidentally lined it up with the grid on the map pretty well.
So I will instead show you that you do see Shay with that particular roll. Narrowest part right over here. Very, very small, but you can see a rounded wooden hut. You can see there are elements. There's actually a little break in the ice right here.
Yeah.
And you can see, and it's, you are just making this out, a thin line of filament that leads to a rod that is stuck, almost completely buried now in the snow right here. You can see there are colors that are kind of displaced. It looks like something has been caught at some point and brought up. Some of the purples and greens staining the snow. But as you look around, I'll turn the water up a little bit because you can hear it. The water is still liquid beneath the ice. The ice is not terribly thick. What do you want to do?
So this is only a 40, 30 foot pass?
Not terribly wide.
Yep.
I mean, I'm putting my boots. I can help people across.
And it is frozen.
Right, but just in case it breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's water passing underneath.
That's an idea.
We'll be fine. Let's go.
Oh,
It's
okay.
getting cold.
Also, hopefully
Well,
the
we're going to be
map
out here for a while.
actually pops up soon.
Oh yeah. Well, if it doesn't, it doesn't.
That's alright, it's
No
forever.
worries.
It's just gonna
We'll
be
take
like,
a picture. We'll put it on Instagram.
All of a sudden,
That's
the
fine.
map will be invisible, and then
Yeah.
it'll be gone again as soon as it's done.
Fine.
So-
Okay, so
Who's taking the lead?
I don't think I need to help you with the weight problem because you float over everything.
Depends on how thick the ice is.
I mean,
Well,
I'll go,
why
I'll
don't
go
we do
first.
this?
I'll go first. I'll just
I was
walk
gonna say, why
across.
don't we do this from lightest to heaviest and see how this goes?
I got water walking boots. So if the pressure
Doesn't
of
mean you're
that-
not heaviest.
I probably am.
Just saying, eating all those
I'm gonna start
steaks.
walking over.
Okay. So as you guys are having this conversation,
I-
you look around and you are aware that Guntir is just beginning to take off.
I kind of like trot to catch up with them.
So Guntir, you walk onto the ice, and you don't even feel the ice make that kind of whining that it does as you step on. It feels fairly thick.
It's so cold out. It's
It
gonna
is?
be thick.
Yeah, it is cold. But you are seeing now, as you look down, and the snow doesn't necessarily settle very well on this. The ice seems to be, almost ironically, a little warmer than the surrounding area, and so it seems to kind of, the snow just sort of skirts off of it a little bit and blows to the sides, creating fairly large drifts on either bank. Make a perception check as you're crossing.
Okay.
Can I say I caught up?
Oh, yeah.
You
What's
can right behind him if you want.
Yeah.
Not very
6,
fast.
passive
Yeah.
17.
Okay.
I'm still looking up.
Sure, yeah,
Like,
look it up. Don't notice anything especially. So all of you guys now getting onto the actual ice. Are you just progressing?
I think I'm gonna stagger myself up, maybe like 10 feet.
Which way is it flowing?
As far as you go, not as far as you can tell, it's one this direction.
Okay, so west.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we're heading north.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm
Um,
gonna also stagger myself the opposite way of Shay. So
Okay.
we're not all walking the exact same path.
So
just
we're gonna
'cause.
put you
Yeah.
as-
And because I can stand on top if anyone falls through and would need help, it
So something like that is what we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Guntir,
would be.
you being in the lead,
Yeah.
you can see in the opening, which would be a door in this and now that you're getting close to it, this is a ramshackle hut. It has been rapidly put together. You notice it's dwarven design. It's not a terribly tall hut, and you actually, maybe not this exact kind used, but it is designed. You can see that there is like an opening on the top that probably purposefully left there so that you could build a fire within. This seems to be like an ice fishing hut of some kind, and as you are drawing closer, you can see this filament going into a now frozen portion of the water. Whoever said it probably hasn't checked it in a little bit. What was your perception check? It was like a 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
7.
7. Okay. Good.
Big
As you
difference.
approach, there is this shift of movement, and you see coming to the door this dwarf. Fairly pale hair. You can see the skin itself, probably from Coltron, a little tanner. The beard is long and not braided in the styles that you've seen a lot of Coltron dwarves braided in. It's kind of loose and flowing in the wind as he steps into the and as he steps into this doorway, you can see like bits of the snow kind of catching into the beard itself.
How's it going?
And from the distance, you can see almost perhaps he can't really hear you, but you can kind of see just this smile. And
Someone up ahead. Yeah.
Do I see him too? Since I'm
yeah,
right behind
yeah,
him,
you would
too?
see. I mean, you wouldn't know all those details about the dwarvish stuff,
No,
but you see a
yeah.
dwarf.
Got any fish?
And again, you just kind of see, and at this point, it's just kind of craning, seeing as if it's almost trying to see you.
I'm gonna mimic the crane to see if I like,
Oh, you see me? Oh, I'm over here.
Make a perception check.
still a 6.
Still a 6. I mean, as you go and you kind of give a little wave,
The
now,
frost starts to like freeze over.
yeah,
my
you get the
eyes.
tears starting to come out of your eyes a little bit, but you do see after you wave this kind of similar wave back to you.
Alright.
Does anything about this seem
gonna
off
start-
to me? Can I insight?
I'm heading.
Sure, make an
towards
insight
him.
check.
I'm heading over.
Okay.
Still making my way.
13?
I'll put the guy up there.
Making my way across.
13?
Yeah.
At this distance with the snow falling,
Okay.
really hard to tell. You can't really see a facial expression of any kind.
Okay. I'm nervous about this guy. I don't know why.
Oh, Guntir.
No.
This
Oh.
isn't him, but
The guy who didn't say hi
I'm
back.
just kidding.
But like he didn't say hi back. It's not
Well,
great.
it's also still blizzarding. Like,
I guess.
as
that's
you
true.
draw close, you can see. Make a perception check. You're getting a little closer to him.
Ooh, this time it's a 9.
Fine,
look
okay.
at you.
Level up.
You're now close enough to see his face, and he has a very pleasant smile. Very neutral.
Alright. Pretty good. Anything suspicious about him? He
Make
just
an
seems
insight
like
check.
a fisherman guy, right? Just ice fishing. Insight. That's a
Push us
20.
all up, I guess.
20?
Yeah.
30,
Okay.
20.
As you are kind of waving and you're thinking to yourself, is there anything suspicious? You crane your head to the side and you notice as you do that, almost like exactly a second later, the exact same amount of time it took for you to wave and for him to wave back, he also just kind of turns his head the exact
something wrong with
same
us.
way.
Oh, gee. It's something.
Someone
Ooh.
snatched a body and replaced it with a copy.
Alright.
Look for pods.
I'm gonna. I think I gotta attack him now.
Whoa!
Whoa.
I would.
Escalated.
Zero
Would
to
I?
100.
Would I see him readying that?
Probably not.
Damn it!
Yeah.
I feel like I was acting as Gunter's keeper. No.
You were acting
Can
as
I also,
Gunter's
You are.
keeper.
Yeah.
while just, I don't know what the fuck's about to go down.
Sure.
But
None of us do.
while
While this
I
is
am
all
approaching,
happening, yep.
I'm assuming that I can see this guy, and
Now the question is.
So I just moved us all to be like,
How
like straight
hard am I
line.
Yeah.
hitting him?
I know that
Is
there's
the
not a whole
question.
lot of coverage or anything, but I do want to proceed stealthily so I'm not in this guy's like eyesight. Like I don't want. Like I'm gonna.
So
Make a
you
stealth
back
check
up. So
and-
you back up just till
I'm
you
gonna-
can't see him, assuming he can't see you, kind of
You
thing.
can
through the
make a-
blizzard?
Oh, I see that they're talking, making eye contact and stuff, and like I don't know.
Yeah, make a stealth
Morwen's
check.
natural
I'm gonna-
instinct is to
'cause
not
I'm
be
like-
seen. So.
Yeah.
Something's
Gonna
up.
try.
Yeah,
Right.
at this point, he's just kind of turning
I'm
his head
like-
the same way you turned yours.
So then I go like,
Damn.
bring my hand up, like,
What's your name, friend?
And a
and see if
second-
he's like
okay.
mimicking me still.
A second later, the hand.
And guiding bolt.
I need everybody to roll initiative.
Yeah,
Like
and,
just in a.
I rolled
in
a natural
in
one
a
for
very
myself.
like.
Fair enough.
Hey, what's your
Is
name?
it fair?
You're gonna get a surprise attack
Nice.
off of that, but
Because that was not good initiative.
Joe, do from bottom to top.
Always. feel
So I
like
can go
my-
first for
my
once.
worst rolls are-
Not in the initiative order, actually, but in the. Can
The
I just
calling
get
of
my
it?
shitty 6 out of the way?
all right. Anybody natural 20s? All right, 25 to 20.
27.
27. Jeez.
I'll just hold my number up in shame.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Do we have 20 to 15? Ooh.
Ooh,
I win?
12.
Wait, you win?
No, you win.
I win.
that's surprising for you.
I know, I rolled
Then
12.
Gunter, and then
I get a
Rainer.
plus 10,
Okay.
so
I only
Yeah.
have a plus 4, so it's fine.
Lucky 7.
So, Morwen, you are going first.
Wait,
actually, sorry.
guiding bolt.
So, Gunter, you are going to do your guiding bolt first, and then we're going to go to Morwen, and then we're going to progress
Alright.
down. So, roll for your attack.
18 plus whatever the plus is. 23.
23 definitely hits. Roll damage.
All right. 6.
Oh, fuck yeah.
9. 11. 13.
13. The total?
You don't have any
That's
feats
it.
that add
Okay. So
modifier.
you reach out, and as it makes this creepy hand motion back and kind of smiles, you blast out this unbelievable burst of electricity, blue crackling bolts that guide it towards him and strikes. You watch as the electricity actually begins to crackle around, almost illuminating him in the dark blizzard-like conditions. The next attack at him will be at advantage.
Hooray!
That is, what else are you doing?
Then I'm gonna bonus action use my
Solidarity, or
my whatchamacallit.
you tell me?
Where is it? The one that's a bonus action.
I don't know.
Shield of Faith.
Shield of Faith. Okay. What does Shield of Faith do?
This is actually good.
plus 2 bonus
Just
for duration.
Okay,
Up to
cool.
10 minutes concentration.
Fantastic. Are you concentrating?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and throw this on to Gunter. You are now concentrating.
Is it all
on
of us or
Shield
just one target?
Just on me.
Okay.
That is your
of
turn?
course.
Yeah.
Morwen, what do you want to do?
I am going to, let's see. I think, because I don't know what this guy's about.
I don't think
Exactly.
any of us.
I
saw
think I'm
this
going
stuff.
to ready. Wait, can I ready an action and a bonus?
No,
No, you can only ready an action.
because the action is to ready. The bonus is still available this round, though.
Well, because I want.
You can't delay your turn. No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ready my action then to attack him if I see that he's going. If he
Okay.
attacks
Are
anyone
you getting
else.
close to him? Are you getting into range?
You would have
You
to.
can't move.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to get. I want to get in position where I can use my sneak attack on him, which I think.
He's got a hut you can hide behind.
You also have advantage
You know what?
for anything because it's just the next hit as advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you,
So
no
it'd
matter
probably
what.
come into effect anyway, right?
Yeah.
So
Advantage
if you
with any
want,
allies
instead
within
of
5 feet.
getting behind that hut, you can actually get right kind of behind him.
But someone might attack him, so I wouldn't have the advantage.
No, you
What?
have
Well, if you
advantage
attack
automatically because
first.
You always do.
Plus,
So if you were to use your
I thought it
attack-
was the next attack,
So,
like the next person
let-
who attacks.
Yes,
Yes.
but let me
Yeah,
put it
so
this
right
way.
now
If you were
it's you.
trying to get a surprise attack, you could do it right now because you have advantage on this next attack. But you could ready your attack if he doesn't see you or is distracted and you have advantage or have advantage for a different reason. You'll
Or
get your sneak
for
attack.
some reason
I'd
just-
rather ready.
Okay, so
or
you
for
ready
some
your
reason
attack.
just
Because if
turns
I
out
get
to be
my
a
sneak
regular
attack,
human
then
being.
give.
Or a
Because
regular
I'm thinking
dwarf
also,
being.
like, if I'm able to sneak attack him too, you might as well give the advantage to someone
So
else.
Morwen, you through the snow and get right behind the hut, readying Puss and Butts in case this thing seems hostile and gets close to you.
Anybody, if
Sure.
in case he's just hostile towards anybody.
Sure, it's its turn. As your guiding bolt strikes it, and you can see this electricity wrap around it, the skin itself seems to wobble and like almost bulge out in places and shift in color. Where it was this sort of peachy, little bit closer to tan, dwarvish skin tone, it shifts into this greenish, bluish gray. And standing before you where there was a dwarf, there's now this creature hunched over and frog-like in the way that it moves, although its hands end in these long black talons that for just a moment remind you of the stumps
Crotega.
from the Crotego.
Bottega.
You can also see that as it shifts, this is actually a bonus action.
It's a snowy Crotega!
Okay, so as an action, you
mean
can
a
see
Snowtega?
now that it is looking at you,
Absolutely.
it makes this, like in the back of its throat, this kind of, and as it kind of moves its hands out past you, it seems to be moving, and you can see, I would say Shay, actually, right in front of you, the ice suddenly first couple lines of a crack appear. We're going to get back to that in a second. That is its turn. Shay, what do you want to do? Gunter, you're on deck.
I'm getting off the ice, first of all.
Sure, where are you going?
Straight forward.
10.
Um,
What are you doing?
I'm gonna hit it. They're gonna
Okay.
hit it.
So you want to get up. Well, you rush up, and the speed that you can move at, the snow itself like parts behind you. Go ahead and roll your attacks.
I can math, I swear. 23.
23 hits.
6.
Got it. 6, okay. What kind of damage is that? That's bludgeoning?
Magical bludgeoning, yeah.
Magical bludgeoning, cool. So you strike it once, and it's this hard, where you imagine it's going to be this soft kind of amphibious skin. Something about it's almost scaly and almost like chitinous.
Wonderful.
Chitinous, sorry.
I have another
Proboscis.
one. 27
27 hits, roll damage.
for 10.
So after you pull back the first punch, you go in with the second, and this time you try to hit it in exactly the same spot, and the skin doesn't crack. But as you progressively hit the same spot, you feel as if you might be able to wear it down a little bit. That was 10, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
Anything
got
else?
One more.
Yeah.
Because why not? Ooh, this one's not though. 12.
12. The final one, as you go to hit the exact same spot, it seems to learn a little bit from its mistakes, and with this, it just pulls itself a little bit away from you. That is your turn.
I'm going to continue around the hut and kind of hide in the back.
Here?
Yep.
Okay. So after the last one, you like immediately sprint away. The snow swirling around you, and as it lashes out, it swipes air.
You don't provoke
She does not.
Do
If
not.
she,
if you hit.
there's something about it.
As long as I make an attack.
Yeah.
Got it.
Do not.
That is your turn. That brings us to Gunter. Heinrich, you're on deck.
I think I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I'm gonna give him the old help action
Wait. Advantage? Never mind.
at
Sorry.
advantage.
No.
No, because
Shay
Shay
had
had
it.
it.
Should did use it.
So I'm gonna use the help action to try and set up a move for Heinrich
Okay.
by distracting it with my axe to the face bonus action.
Axe to the face distraction. Quite effective.
Okay, so what we're saying, what are you trying
trying
to
to,
set
like-
up?
I'm trying to like hit him in such a way as it like knocks it away from Heinrich's line.
You're
his
using
line
your
of
bonus
sight of
action
Heinrich.
attack as a way to set up your helping action.
Yes.
Okay, make your bonus attack. This is unusual.
Yeah, I'm confused.
It's a solidarity cleric thing, because solidarity clerics can do a bonus action attack and then base things off of it.
That's 16.
16. As you and this is with the axe.
Yes.
Okay, as you swing with the axe, it hits the side and seems to just scrape off. Whatever this is made out of, if you don't get a direct hit, seems to almost turn blades.
All right then.
And you're taking help?
Yep.
Okay. That is your turn. Heinrich, what do you want to do? And then more when you're on deck.
You have advantage.
Okay. No matter where I go.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start circling and shooting Eldritch Blasts at it.
Where do you want to end up?
So I'm going this way. So a little more that way, away from the river. Yeah, that's fine. So that was full movement. That's
You
fine.
can get 5 more if you want.
Well, I'll shoot and then move my last 5, I guess. So I'll end there. But as I'm walking, I'm just kind of like getting into, oh shit, and then I just like fire off two of them.
Roll your attacks.
Now the river's showing.
Cool. There we go.
Yay!
Nice update. Thanks, camera. Okay, both beams at it.
Sure.
First one is a 22.
Okay, that hits.
Okay. So I'll roll first for that because of the way that this works. I
Yeah.
get to. I actually have to double check this one thing because
Do it later.
it's more. Well, it's important now. Anyways, whatever. That would have been good, but fucking paper. So
Fucking paper.
fucking paper. So that's 8 of whatever type that this is flavored as, normally force.
Okay. For damage. Okay, so
yeah.
you're rolling damage right now.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the second bolt. Okay, this is what I want to ask, basically. Just because I have Repelling Blast,
Mm-hmm.
do both beams push it back 10 feet each, or does the Eldritch Blast just do 10 feet?
I believe the Eldritch Blast action is 10 feet.
Right, because there's just wording on attack rolls in the wording of Eldritch Blast.
It's
attack
not 10
rolls.
feet, 10 feet.
Yeah, I would assume so, because that would be fucking ridiculous to do 40 feet when you're maxing it. But okay, so anyways, 8 and 10 feet backwards, basically. And the second one goes wide at fucking 11.
Okay, yeah. So the first, as you're walking and you fire these out, you remember you've done this before since you've changed to Celestial.
And
these
I had
two
done it before,
bolts
too.
of force energy erupt from your hand. No
Yeah.
longer maggots, no longer necrotic energy.
That sort of Doctor Strange-ish description you gave when
Yeah.
I blew up the
Yeah, and
first
so
ice castle.
as you hold out your hand and these things emerge, there are these twisting runes that emerge in the air, glowing flat, but twisting in an almost planar direction around your hands before this emerges. And as it strikes in, he's knocked back 10 feet, you said?
Yeah, 10 feet. So I just slide him straight. Like, I would have been right there,
So-
just that way.
10 feet back here. And Morwen, you actually would get opportunity attacks because he's leaving your melee range.
Hell yeah.
So go ahead and
You're
roll
fucking-
your attack. You get one attack.
Would this ruin a sneak attack?
Nobody. Yeah, unfortunately, he's not going to get a sneak attack because the advantage gauntlet to
Wait.
Shay.
This was force type damage, correct?
But aren't you
Okay, cool. So that does matter.
swashbuckler roll? So you have it whenever you're within 5
Oh
feet.
yeah, but and then other people can't be within 5 feet, so it's
Yeah.
within okay, it's
No,
far enough.
You're the only person, yeah, so you get
Oh, the dueling
Okay,
thing?
yeah. No, it's a
reg-
swashbuckling
ready
thing.
show dash.
Um, Yeah, I do it.
One of those things.
That is for a 14.
14 misses, unfortunately. As he moves, you swipe out, but with all the wind moving and these other force things going, you feel this force energy from where you are as it impacts this creature. You feel it kind of push you back a little bit as well. Not enough to move you, but it's different than what you're used to Heinrich using. That is your turn? Or sorry, that is its turn. No,
That was my
we're in
opportunity.
Heinrich's turn right
Yeah.
now. So Heinrich, that is your attack.
Yeah, I'm just looking for bonus actions
Sure.
to see if this is once per day or not. Holy shit, I don't think there's a limit on it.
What are you trying to do?
Maddening Hex?
I don't think so.
I didn't even realize that. There's no limit on it. Yeah, I mean, bonus action. Boom.
And so as
I concentrate the energy onto it, and I feel like it would be, because it's the first time doing this, you know, when your gut drops out when you miss a step,
yeah.
that feeling, but directed towards it, but
Okay.
kind of coming from maybe my brain instead.
As you're walking and you fire the first Eldritch Blast, it hits it and shifts it. You feel the impact even from where you're standing as the snow arounds it, and it's like you hear the snow part underneath
blow
it as
away.
it scatters and moves 10 feet away from you. Your second shot goes wide, and you
Yep.
feel this almost dropping sensation, and as
Yeah.
you are intently looking at this creature, that sensation seems to almost shift around you. Behind your head, you are aware of this faint glowing, and to everybody else, those runic things seem to appear almost as if it is this bluish halo for an instant before it passes from you in a streak to this creature and seems to coalesce around and disappear. No longer visible to other people, but you are aware that it is hexed. It does get a saving throw, I believe.
Yeah. I did this wrong, but we'll roll with it for now.
Great.
It does get
What
a
is
save.
What is the saving throw?
Against... is it exactly?
Yeah. What is the DC?
DC is... Oh, I have this written down here. I think it's 16. 17.
17. It rolled a natural 18. Gets what kind of save is it?
That's what I'm looking up, because I think I fucked this up. We'll retcon it later. Just say, wisdom, because I think that's normally what all of
If
them
it
are.
is a wisdom, it gets -1, and it actually fails.
Oh.
So you...
Well, okay.
Yeah, so it is hexed.
Okay.
What does that do to it?
So, that...
Because I know Hexblade's cursed, but I don't know Maddening.
Right.
Hex off the top
Well,
of my
that's
head.
different. So it is Hex that I was trying to cast first
Sure.
on it, not Maddening Hex, because
Okay.
that's later. I should have done this I did this in the wrong
So
order.
Hex
But hey,
adds
it's okay.
1d6
It's
damage
additional-
to all of your attacks.
additional, yeah.
Cool.
To all of mine.
Great.
And when it dies, I can pass it on to a new one as a bonus
Yes, you
action.
can. All right, so that is your turn?
Yep.
Okay, Morwen, what do you want to do?
Sneak attack.
Okay, so you move. How do you want to get a sneak attack?
Being
Oh, I choose an
sneaky.
ability it sucks with. I choose
Jump
an
off
ability
of-
it sucks
jump
with
off
too.
of the hut.
Ooh.
Disadvantage
Yeah,
on
How
that's
tall?
yeah.
How tall is the hut?
Dex, I guess.
Okay.
How,
What?
how tall is the hut?
Hut's only about 8 feet. It was very hastily erected.
Jump off the hut.
I climb up it and I jump off of it.
Okay. Easy enough. Only 8 feet. You scale to the top of it. It shakes. I mean, this wood is cold. It's brittle. It was hastily erected, but you get to the top,
Same.
and you want to leap off of it and try to make a sneak attack. Go ahead and roll your attack. This is at advantage because
Swashbucklers,
as long as nobody else is within what?
5 feet.
5 feet? Yeah. Yeah. So go ahead and make your attack.
Swashbuckler
At advantage?
basically
Yeah.
always
Advantage.
has it because also when they're in 5 feet of range,
22.
they get the
22.
normal
So,
sneak
Morwen,
attack.
you climb to the top of this, and as you see it like shift in the snow and look up at Heinrich, and Heinrich casts something which just coalesces around it, you leap off and like plunge. This is pus.
Yes.
Plunge your rapier into it. Go ahead and roll your attack and roll sneak attack damage.
Yay. All right. So that starts with a 13.
Okay.
So it's a 13. That's a 19. 22. 24. 28. 33. 39.
Okay.
Put it to bed.
It had previously taken 32 total damage. And in this moment, as it looks up in the snow and you can hear from the back of it this kind of sound begin to emerge, Morwen leaps off of this building and just strikes. You feel the rapier dig deep into the shoulder blade, puncture this tough skin. There's a moment of resistance, but it punctures through and you can feel it go into something deep within its body. It turns to look at you, but actually seems to be almost paralyzed because you've like skewered just below where its neck is. It is pissed at you. That is your first attack. What else are you doing?
I'm gonna butts it.
Make your second attack.
So you're just right up on it?
Yeah, sorry, I can.
I'm all up in its business.
Hell yeah.
21.
Nice.
21 hits. Roll for your butts damage.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Oh,
whoa. Go down.
slippery butts.
That was my 4th max in this, just
Perfect.
saying. In the attack rolls. That's a 7.
Don't address
Nice.
it, it'll go away.
I have to adjust it. That was 4 max.
That's true.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Big chunk.
So what? That was 40.
That was
That was
45.
40. No, that was
46.
46.
46 points of damage. And as you bring butts around, you slash underneath and you
I
cut,
am
you
invincible.
cut it right behind the knee. You feel tendons snap underneath your blade as it staggers slightly underneath. It turns and its full attention is on you now.
Look at me now.
You doing anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna gonna go behind the hut because I want to do it again.
That was.
I'll use
you have a
dash.
common speed actually, so that was only 10 feet, 5 feet, so that's only 15, 20, 25, 30.
I'll use dash to.
Dash is your bonus action, yeah?
That's
Because you use the attack, so attack 2 attacks for your.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that should work. So
Yep.
you behind
rogues,
the hut.
man, rogues.
That is your turn. It is its turn. At the beginning of its turn,
More.
the ice cracks, and you can hear, this. And as it bursts open,
Jeez.
right in front of where Shay was, there, and back on this side, these two seemingly formed out of the swirling purples, greens, and blues of the water itself. These two elements of water rise up. It is going to 5, 10, 15, 20. It's going to shift. It's going after Morwen. As you run, it is in pursuit of you. You turn to look from behind, and it is right in front of you now. And you can see these long, perhaps this long teeth. And you can smell this kind of sulfur and rotting flesh coming off of it. And it is this hot breath in this cold environment.
Gross.
Okay, this is going to take a second because it has challenging actions now. You watch as it brings its claw around to you. The base of the claw ignites in flame.
Oh, jeez.
That is going to be a... Not very great. That is going to be a 16 to hit.
Negative.
All right. The first one in front of you, the fire licking at your
Bitch.
face, but you dodge out of the way. The second attack is going to be 16 again.
Bitch.
So it's just, it doesn't seem to be able to hit you. And finally, with its bite, 17.
Yeah.
Okay. Finally manages to clench its teeth around you, digging into the actual leather of your glamored armor. That's gonna be 4 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
Worth noting, it is magical
It
damage.
tickles.
But yeah, they dig into your shoulder. It hurts, not
No.
terribly. Meanwhile, the creatures
It emboldens you.
behind are going to each make an attack. Both on Guntir, because he's right there.
Wait, what the hell are those? When
You
did
have
those
no
get
idea.
there?
They're like ice.
You don't even see them, so it doesn't matter.
You have not a clue. The first one is going to be a 17 to hit.
Nice.
So there's this like swirl of water. Although as it passes you, there is a glow to it. There's some kind of arcane energy in it, and it goes out into the gray. The second one is going to be a 18 to hit.
That's a tie.
That is a tie. That's going to be a hit. You take. Where is this here? Water strike. Ooh.
I'm gonna do my con save.
You take.
Oh,
Natural 20.
Nice. So yeah, you maintain concentration. However, you do take 8 points of cold damage as it strikes into you, and you feel the water elements of it spread across you and freeze as they're going.
That was 8.
Yeah, 8 cold damage if it matters. That is their turn. That is its turn. That brings us to Shay. Guntir, you're on deck.
Almost like a tag moment as Morwen's sitting there. Come up around and I'm gonna hit it.
Okay, so as it comes over here, you're gonna go all the way around it.
No.
Okay.
around
Just
it.
like
As I'm yelling, bitch. Just like that, bitch.
All of a sudden, Shay just shows up behind you.
Oh no, not you, not you.
Go ahead and roll your
See how it
attacks.
is, Morwen. That is 22?
Yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
23. I lied.
That doesn't hit anymore.
Okay.
Bye.
yeah, you exceeded the target
I
range.
did. 6.
6. You go through and hit it again. As you strike it, you're doing damage to it. It's difficult punching through this like tough, almost rocky exterior. But that's 6 more damage to it. It's beginning to look kind of hurt.
Beginning to. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, that hits as well.
5.
5. This time, as you are pulling back from that first hit, you go forward and knee it, kind of hitting it where you see blood. This purple, very viscous, like honey-like in terms of its consistency, is kind of running down its calf where Morwen slashed at the tendons. You go and you manage to pull a knee straight into the back of it, and it sinks down to one knee, this sound, and you can see actually for the first time bits of this kind of purple begin to emerge from it.
Nice. One more.
Go for it.
24.
24 hits. Roll damage for your third.
8.
Now that it's on the ground and kind of closer to your like face level,
Yep.
you just punch it dead in the face. You can feel like bits of bone, and the skin itself actually caves slightly underneath your punch. It's looking pretty hurt.
And then I'm gonna cycle back around kind of behind Morwen and like kind of off a little bit. Yep.
Perfect. So
There
you
you
kind of duck
Yeah, get away
right
from me
into
so I
the
can
side
sneak
of
attack
this
again.
cabin.
That's what I'm here for.
Don't be
Guntir,
near
what do you
me.
want to do?
No,
Kinda
don't
around
leave
that.
me, but don't be close.
I'm right here, but I'm not. I'm here.
Guiding bolt one of these things, I think.
Okay, which one?
This one,
Go
because
for
it's
it.
going to be close to Heinrich, who can then get advantage. Oh, that's not going to hit. That's a 5. That's a 7.
7 misses. You hold out, and as you do, there's this kind of almost thunder-like sound from your hand as this bolt just up into the sky, very far. Anything else?
I'm going to be like, oh! And run 1, 2,
Okay, so after Heinrich, you would see Guntir's strike go wide. You kind of see this expression of like it's every time you kind of come into a narrow aisle in a supermarket with somebody, it's and the awkward kind of shuffle, and he just begins to pad into the snow.
Gunter and I get the like back to back.
So I see these things now.
You have to really get down to be back to back with Gun.
So,
no, you're
really,
so him doing that, I would turn and see these things, having not been previously aware of
now
this.
you see there are
back out.
these elements of
How you
water
doing,
that
old man?
Yeah.
these elements of water that have risen from the ice and seem to be charging some kind of an attack. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
And they weren't there before, and I saw the dude touch the water or target the water. I'm gonna run around behind an Eldritch Blast, while also taking cover from this oncoming attack, and yell, "Find cover!"
So here,
Like behind here, yeah. Wherever the first space behind there is that I can also see it.
probably right here.
Okay. And then double.
So Morwen, you're aware of all of a sudden this kind of crunch, 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 and all of a sudden Heinrich is right behind you.
So yeah, Eldritch Blast.
Roll your attacks.
Okay. That is an 18,
18 just hits.
and then, not a hit then.
Sure.
So the first one and only one, plus the d6 this time of necrotic if that matters, or if you want to reflavor it, I don't really care, but let me know what you've reflavored because it matters.
What spell is this?
Hex.
Hex? So no, it would just be
Okay,
necrotic here.
that's fine. Alright, so that is 10, 13.
13.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So the hex damage as you hit it, I believe it takes place, right?
Yep. Yeah,
So-
so it's in addition to
So
whenever
as
I
the
hit it.
initial force damage, and are you pushing it as well?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay. So as the force damage strikes it, and the snow emanates around it again, those actually the runes that you're crafting as you do it, giving this glow to you, and the black eye that you have now on the right side has this faint bluish cast to it. You
Can I do diagonal?
it would be
10?
No. Oh yeah, it could just be 10 this way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You get an attack of opportunity as that happens.
Hell
Exactly.
So go ahead and roll
This
your
is our
attack.
new combo. I'm realizing. Hell yeah.
17.
17
Just
misses, unfortunately. So as it is like forcefully ripped away from you, you swing at it and it goes
Okay.
wide.
So now Maddening Hex.
Okay.
Bonus action. Anything that's hexed by me. In any form of a hex. But
Sure.
this is the only one I have, I think. It just takes a flat 5 automatic.
Nice.
Psychic if that matters.
It
I just turn it on and it does it. And that's
okay.
it.
So interesting. As this happens, and you imagine this kind of pulse, and you can see like the little bits of ruins that
Yeah.
had gone kind of silent suddenly like flare to life in an almost burning light.
Yeah.
This harsh blue light.
It's sort of like it's like a rhythmic pulse every time I attack this guy now. It's just going to be
Yes,
like...
and as it woof up, it doesn't do as much damage as you imagine it would.
Okay. Interesting. So 5 and then whatever it would
2.
have been.
Just 2 damage.
Cool. Still.
That is your
I'm
turn.
not tuned yet.
Your turn.
Yeah, that's
Okay. That brings us back to Morwen. What do you want to do?
Probably resistant.
So you made your attacks, right? Oh, you missed. Okay.
No, it's psychic.
So you
But-
get up to it.
Wait. For like, used a whole bunch of speed to get behind it, like run around the hut. Can I sneak attack it again?
No.
Damn it.
But you get sneak attack all the time.
You just need advantage.
Because you're a
Yeah.
swashbuckler.
You don't need to be
literally
hidden.
have it all the time.
The title,
Oh,
the
right,
title
right.
is
No, you're right,
incredibly
you're right.
misleading.
Yeah.
Because if
It's advantaged attack.
another hostile creature is within 5 feet, you get sneak attack. And if a hostile creature isn't within 5 feet, you get sneak attack.
Basically, in any dueling situations, you're
Yeah,
getting
as
sneak
long
attack.
as it's one enemy, you
I
get,
sneak
you
it.
get one sneak
Okay,
attack.
and the way that you have to think about it, the sneak attack doesn't always mean sneaking up behind somebody.
You
It
can just be
means,
distracting
like,
or
yeah,
flourishing
as
your
they're
blade.
like
Watch the hand,
blocking,
watch the
you
hand.
sneak a strike underneath.
Yeah.
I was like, what's happening?
Roll your
Yeah.
attack.
We were
Advantage.
sneak attacking you.
Yeah.
We confuddled you.
20.
Advantage.
20. Okay.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
That's what it means.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's
No
how
worries.
you are.
I've
triggering
never
us.
played before.
It's okay.
So that would be a 26.
Yeah,
Right?
26 definitely hits. Roll damage and roll sneak attack damage as well.
Gladly. Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh,
That's what you get for being too excited.
I know. I'm sorry that I was having fun. All right, so that's
Just got
6.
4 maxes in a row. Called it out.
It's either I or she, one of the two. 2 variables.
Well,
8,
You were
10,
right in that having
15.
made that known.
18.
She lost the jujus.
No, it's just
Gosh,
pretty average.
guys. 13.
Okay.
Judging your RNG.
You like lunge forward and spear forward in like a fencer's lunge, and as you do, the rapier goes through it, goes to hold out its hand, making this sound, and the rapier pierces through the hand and stabs into the chest.
Just
You
like,
pull away, and you pull out like some kind of chunk of flesh that
Gross. I
hits
love
the
it.
back of its hand and like falls out as you pull the blade free.
Nasty.
It is looking real hurt. As that happens, there's like this purple goo now flowing free through the teeth itself. It tries to hiss at you, but all that comes out is this gurgle. It is really hurt.
I butts it.
Go ahead, make your attack.
And I say, what? I couldn't hear that.
And then you miss.
Oh, I missed.
What'd you roll?
Huh?
What'd you roll?
I rolled an 8.
Yeah, that misses.
Yeah.
So as you try to make this kind of thing, you swing, and it is able to shift, almost stumbling more than it dodges, but your attack goes wide. It is its turn, unless you have anything else to do.
Yes, I'd like to move away from it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna back up to the rest of my friends, but I'm also gonna be like backing up.
So still holding both swords, you kind of give it a middle finger with your hand wrapped
You know,
around
with
the hilt.
both.
Okay. Wrapping your hand around the hilt of both, you flip off this monster as you retreat.
Wait,
It is-
don't I have a little bit more?
You do, yeah, you have 10 more feet.
Yeah, I want to back up more. I want to be.
You can
Right
do
there.
if you like.
Yeah.
Right.
cool, we're all in a line.
Snuggling.
That's
Fine.
great. That's great. We're really good.
However, it is its turn. And in this moment, I mean, it's hurt. This thing now punctured through its chest in 2 different places. Its head still ringing from that psychic attack. Its big eyes kind of shift around, and it turns. It's going to go 5, 10, 30. And it is going to attempt to go beneath the water. It has to break through the ice.
Is it a dex check?
It is a 1 and a 9 naturally. Luckily, I mean, it just hit the ice, so it's a DC 10, or it's a AC 10. That is going to be... Yeah. So the claws now, still on fire from the first attack, like shred into the ice, and with 2 strikes, the ice shatters. And this thing just into the water. As far as you can tell, it is still there. Guntir, I would say you can probably see, and because you have it hexed, you have a vague feeling as to where it is, almost like a tug.
Yeah.
You feel it almost instantly like get taken by the water.
And it would.
It seems to be just like going.
Yeah. So 90 feet, and then it snaps off.
30? This one disappears.
Actually, no, it stays. So here's the thing: casting that is the range of the casting is 90 feet, and
Yeah.
then it's just for
It just stays.
for 24
Yep.
hours because I have to cast it
Yep,
at my
like
next
you
level.
could be in a different part of the city and find it, and it would still have hex. It's,
Right.
It's crazy.
I love that. Well, as
Yeah.
long as I'm concentrating, which
You
I
can
will
use it as a
maintain to
tracker,
do.
too, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
it is currently disappearing away from you, and I'm going to say it's going to use its bonus action as well. So, I mean, the shape just disappears. It's going down. This
How
way.
far away
This
is
one
it?
disappears.
Oh no.
You notice
Do I
the
see
first
how
one,
far
as it
away
got
is?
30 feet away from one of these, they're called a Wexen. It just kind of loses shape and back into water, spreading across the ice. There is kind of a moment that passes, and you don't see anything.
Do you give chase, Gunter?
Yeah. How far away?
I grab
is
his
it?
shoulder.
Do I see how far away?
But I
it
love
is?
this idea.
Athletics check.
Who's gonna fucking control water back so we can finish it off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to spoil.
You already said you're going to
It's
do it.
too hard, but it's
Is
just
it-
too good.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Basically, is it within 300 feet?
So there's this moment where Gunter starts to take off to look to see, and all of a sudden you feel this iron grip around the back of you, and Shay yanks you behind the thing.
Can I control water? It's within 300 feet, right?
It has to be something that you can see.
No, it's just the
No,
water
it's the
itself.
water. I'm just gonna
gonna
change
pull-
the
Redirect the flow.
Show me where you are targeting it.
the
Well, what's-
entire river.
Because what's the
It's like
what's the
huge.
size
The
of it?
entire
What's the
cube
size of the
So where you-
of the
100
spell?
feet.
100
I'm
feet
doing
of
Oh, yeah,
water.
okay.
from here
Okay.
Can I see?
Just
Just
100
to
feet that
100
direction?
feet that direction.
Okay.
pulling it
Just
back.
Pulling it
Oh.
back. Bringing
A
all the
cube
water-
I
up
know
to
this is
100 feet on the
uncharacteristic of
side.
me, but
Yeah,
that's just
bringing
evil.
all the water back.
No, it might be information. We could
Basically-
get
So-
something out of it.
No, it can't talk. I
You-
cut out its vocal
you're doing
cords.
that?
Pretty much like big giant hands up there, bringing 100
Okay.
feet of water
Okay, I'm
back.
letting him go and running.
A couple things happening all at once. So, as you control water, you see this like along the seam of the river, either bank, the ice begins to crack, and all of a sudden the entirety just shifts, and it is this loud like, and it echoes, and it's this crazy, strange, defying the odds skittering sound that almost sounds like you struck a metal pole. It echoes throughout this empty space. And you can see at the very end as the water shifts and begins pulling opposite, now spilling out on either bank because you are reversing the direction of this river. You can see at the very end of it because it moves 90 feet. Maybe actually here.
You're not getting away that
You can
easy.
see now its head kind of pop up, still just like blood pooling around it. And there is, if you could read fear in a creature like this, certainly fear in its eyes. It is trying to get away. You guys are technically back in combat now. Shay, what do you want to do? Heinrich,
wait.
you're on deck. Okay, you wait. Heinrich, what do you want to do?
I mean, I'm with it. This thing attacked our friends and tried to deceive us, and that is things that I believe, based on the scriptures, is not what my god would stand for.
Sure, what do you
Maybe,
wanna do?
I believe. I mean, can I see it from here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start moving towards it, firing off the Eldritch Blasts.
Okay. Make
So-
your attacks.
First one is an 18,
That hits.
and then the next one hits because it's 15 plus
Okay,
9.
roll your damage.
Alright, so 1d6 plus 2d10, so 3 and perfect, 15, that's 18.
18.
And then plus 6, 24.
Tell us how it happens.
Well, as I'm running,
Oh,
my
poor
intention...
thing.
I mean, I honestly think that it would just be turning, looking confused. And then it would just kind of like quickly like refocus to me as like the blue light is starting to form. And it would just be like a flash. And this is from its perspective, because that's how I want to do this one.
Sure.
From its perspective, it would just like quickly see like an inhaloed shape of me, and then just like big blue, and then just like, that's it.
Sure.
And then
So-
I'm still running at it to try to get its body. I want to
Yeah.
get its body.
As Heinrich runs forwards, he holds out a hand, and it almost looks as if bits of the snow drift in to form this bright circular shape of constantly spinning runes, almost hard to look at. And as the force goes through it, from its perspective, it is just this glow of blue that silhouettes you from behind, and then in front blindingly, and then its life just ends.
Just like...
Heinrich,
bolts,
you
they
run
twin
to
around
catch
each
the
other.
body. What's the casting time of that spell?
It's an action and it lasts up to 10 minutes.
Up to 10 minutes. So actually, if you concentrate, you can just
Yeah,
hold
I'm
it.
still holding it. I'm still pulling them in.
water's
I'm
still
like,
flowing
I'm
upstream.
basically like reeling
So I guess
this
I'm
guy
like
in.
curving my trajectory to meet up with it, and then just...
The water is like rushing now and widening. It's splitting the ice and kind of forming a
This way,
wider
yeah.
path as this chunk of water just stays. And you're kind of pulling it here, and this
It's
body
like cycling
is
almost.
just like tumbling in this constant like washing machine effect.
Just like, yeah, it's basically like.
Hunter, as you're
bringing the
running
current
forward, if
this
there
way.
was items on this, you're imagining they're long.
I don't
gone,
need
because
the
you see
items. I
it-
just
you
want
see
to
it
know... Yeah.
Well, I think he's still
Through.
coming
Yeah.
closer to here, right?
Right, you'd be
I mean,
pulling
you
his
said
body.
Are you pulling?
I'm
Yeah.
pulling him
So
in.
it's just kind
Yeah.
of tumbling over, and you watch as like Guntir controls the water, and it's just kind of floating in the head onto the ground as it drifts over until it's
I
just
think-
floating right.
If we're out of combat now, I'll just like squirt him out the side.
It's kind of right there, and then all of a sudden,
just like squirt him out onto the
Into the
shore.
snow.
Be like, there you go.
Thanks.
you guys are now out of combat.
And then I return the water to its normal flow.
Okay, give me just a second.
Because
So,
Gunter's a waterbender.
I have something that I wanted to
Yeah.
do right when it came out,
The
though, if
legend
that's
of
okay.
what do you want to do?
I just wanted to state the reason why I wanted to kill it. And anyways,
I
If
wanted
the-
to kill it
there-
because it's evil.
there might be more of these
Fair.
things around here. If there's any information we can glean off of this, if it's native, if it's not, anything. And then we should move as fast away from the river as possible because it probably disturbed. If this is not the Shenyu,
Regardless,
Shrenu.
we
That
Shrenu.
looks like a Crotega to me.
If this-
created a lot of noise and a lot of light.
exactly, we should move. We should keep moving immediately. But any markings, anything, I'm just going to start
Make a
investigating.
medicine check
Or
or
investigation?
an investigation if you're.
That's what I prefer. I'm looking for like
Investigation means that you're closely
tribal
inspecting the body.
markings or yeah,
Anything
exactly.
good?
Okay.
Closely
make an
inspecting the
investigation
body, looking for like any semblance of information that might help us in the future
Sure.
about like native tribal markings, whatever, yada yada yada. At advantage? No.
No.
Damn it, that was the worst worst roll I could have done. 10.
10.
With all of this shit.
This creature, really scaly, mottled, kind of greenish. And you're recognizing now, definitely a gray skin, but this green-blue hue cast to it from the water that it spends its life in. You can actually see there's bits of moss and algae that are growing on it. It spends most of its life underwater, and you would imagine it needs to return frequently. Outside of that, not a lot you can tell about it.
I'm like, why? There's nothing. Okay. I'm like, damn it. We heard it too much.
It's in rough shape. Yeah, it's not looking good. I mean,
I guess like I'm like kind of resting down with my hand on it, and then I look up and I look around just like for any other signs of things.
Perception check.
I'm gonna
And then-
start making my way
And then just like
over
we
to
need, like
inspect the body.
let's get out of here.
Make an investigation
Probably
check.
kick it
10,
too.
10 active, 11 passive.
Looking around, as far as you can tell,
This was
no
the only
shadows in
one.
the sky. The ice, other than the places where it broke, and even now in the intense cold, like that, those two large, like 5 feet across broken areas, almost completely iced over at this point. You don't see any other movement outside of your group.
Okay.
16. Looking at this creature, the talons of it, definitely these long protrusions of black, very reminiscent of the Cretago. These creatures probably hailing from way back when. You're beginning to think about what Lorebinder Boron told you. These creatures very rare. They wander this river. They're not from the river. They're from somewhere else. And you begin to suspect they probably hail from the original Abyssal Mistveil.
I'm cutting off its claws to take as a trophy for
Okay.
some cashola.
You find as you're going through, the claws themselves lead into the fingers and connect to the skeleton themselves. So, I mean, again, these black minerally protrusions attached to the skeleton, you have to kind of cut off
Yeah,
the
I'm
tip
just
of the
taking
finger. Sure.
my axe, just
Yeah.
Are you taking a whole
how many do you
hand?
wanna take?
Guys,
pretty much.
guys, it's happening.
He did it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So-
What do you mean? What are you sighing about? You're wearing the
Harvest the
fucking shirt too.
You harvest these fingers. You can add, if you would like, up to 10 Shrenu fingers.
Shit, that's our calling card though. Now people know we're here.
Leave one finger. It's too suspicious to take them
I'm
all.
taking all the fingers.
Take a toe.
Additionally,
Taking all the
something
fingers.
else over the course of this investigation, as you're looking at this body, you feel in your feet this kind of shaking in the earth. Not really in the earth. It's almost like a thunder roll. You don't hear thunder. And you remember back in Quartz Temple, the first time that you ever reached your hand out and said, "Get out of here," and disappeared
that's true.
something.
I can do that.
Something about this creature being so far away from where it is for so long, you imagine you wouldn't really be able to banish this. And you, in your past, have come across creatures that are plane-locked before, but this creature is probably very old.
I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna spit on it.
It is now slightly more kicked and spit upon.
Great.
I think that's an appropriate response. I'm gonna check that hut.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Yay.
I'm rejoining Shay and saying, yes, I know. We
We need
to
move.
go.
Natural
That
one.
thing's older than I am.
You go into the actual, or
Was.
you go to the door of the hut. Hastily erected,
not
there's like a
hard
wooden
to do,
bench
Guntir.
that is within. You can see that there is like a little wooden crate, although you can't see into it. There is a rolled up sleeping roll not set out yet, and there
I'll
is
introduce you to some friends.
wood, although no fire.
Boring. I leave.
Okay, you leave. What are you guys doing?
Gunter, you outlived yet another creature on this earth.
Yeah,
on this,
I'll live
on this,
plenty more,
on
too.
this orb in space. No, I'm just kidding. I know what space is. Let's
Yeah.
go. We need to
You have a
go. We
loose
need to move.
That thing
understanding
wasn't
from
so
your time with
hot.
Bernal, you'd have a loose understanding that space exists.
Right.
I'm not gonna get stopped by an old Shrengu.
Let's go.
Yes, agreed. Move on out.
So now that you've crossed the River of Color, where are you going?
To the.
Well, you
Gate.
said the Gates of Ascension, right? That was the.
All right.
That's
You
our
guys
heading.
begin your trek north. And you know it's less than an hour to get to this point. The wind's not picking up anymore, but staying a steady blizzard. You trek through, feet crunching through the snow. You're leading the way?
Yes.
Make a perception check.
25.
25. After about 10 minutes,
You
begin
needing
to
that
make
high
out
perception makes a lot of sense now.
these shifting kind of like elements where the snow is moving oddly, and then you notice shadows, and you're beginning to see now these two massive wooden pillars that represent the Gates of Ascension. And now you're beginning to see dark silhouettes that are misshapen in the gray, and you can see where the mountains probably are, although not any kind of definition to them, just snow. But no more than 10 feet ahead of you, or 10 minutes ahead of you,
Sure.
are the Gates of Ascension. What was your perception check?
25.
You also noticed to the left of it, maybe 300-400 feet away, and located at the very base of where this mountain is, there's an area of complete darkness in that snow, probably a cave.
Wonderful.
Where are you going?
Through the gates. And
I mean, we're all there too, yeah?
yeah.
Does anyone else see the cave?
I don't want to say the most familiar path because I know what that is, and that's not going to be helpful for anybody else. But through the gates, and what would be the easiest path for this party?
Okay. You guys begin to walk.
Easiest / fastest.
Sure.
Can we
And-
pit stop
Yeah.
in the cave? Just get out of the cold for a sec.
Is it prior to the gate, or is it through? And
You have to go to the left. It's. I mean, you could pass the gate and go. It's literally in the mountain. So there's the gates about 10 feet, and then the beginning rock part of the mountain. You could go through the gate if you really felt like it, and then go left along the mountainside to the cave.
Yeah, let's just
You
go
also
up there
don't
and
need to
collect
go
our
to the
bearings.
gate. It's not. Gate is a really, really strong word. It's two large wooden pillars.
Yeah.
landmark of
Yes.
sorts
Yes.
that
To
is
the
called
left
a
of the
gate.
landmark.
What was once a gate is now two pillars.
Yes.
Who was
So,
that
again-
character?
That was Matt. So
Oh,
again,
Matt stopped by.
Okay.
where do you want to go?
Let's see again.
Do we? What time is it? Roughly.
Oh,
What's
the hell's
gonna
that
happen is
guy?
probably right around 1:30 in the afternoon.
Do we need a break?
Well, I'm getting kind of hungry. Just
Yeah.
pause for a short rest, and maybe sit down for about an hour. Keep moving.
I'm handing.
I'm like fine to keep going. I don't know why you're trying to break.
Oh, my spell slot's back.
I got like a little bit, but you know.
Okay.
Um,
We'll go to the cave.
Okay. Again, only 400 feet away. Not a terrible divergence.
Yeah,
to the-
just like a short stop. Let's have a snack and then keep moving.
Instead of walking straight.
Explain
through
to
the-
us this path and while we're in there that we're taking.
Which path?
The one that we're taking.
The path to ascension.
the one less traveled.
Let's just get to the cave.
You guys walk diagonally instead of directly forward, and
Weird.
get up to the base of the mountain and begin
Tactics.
to skirt around. And as you do, this cave does come into sight, and it is not a cave. You can see there is a wooden beam going across, maybe 12 feet up the ceiling of this. It seems to be the entrance to a mine shaft. You can actually see further into the cave, maybe about 15 feet in where the snow stops and isn't drifting in. You would see elements of like worked stone. Definitely a mine, although looking at it, you don't see any light. You don't
Totally
see any.
light the arm wrapping so you can see.
Okay.
And suddenly there's this glow, and you're aware of the light that has been cast. But holding it up a little bit, you can see into. It goes past where you can see at least 70 feet down, and it seems to kind of wind down a little bit. And you can just maybe make out that there's a path that veers to the left and continues to go straight as well. Seems to break off, although you can't see how many directions it does, because that's right where your vision ends.
Yep.
The center path that you see seems to be a deeper gradient than the one to the left. The ceiling's no more than 12 feet high, although it dips in places, and you can see there are wooden beams that go into wooden posts to secure the ceiling. Although you can tell this is an old mine because there are areas that have crumbled down and bits of stone. Almost the entire floor is covered in loose gravel and elements that have fallen down. Not a terribly secure mine. The wind howls through, and you can hear like this
Say-
whistling sound.
We take our rest and we move on.
Outside. Oh yeah. Feeling the same. This is not a well kept place.
Okay. As you guys kind of gather around in the little bit of shelter that the cave mouth offers, it is 10:30, so we're going to take our break. Because we are going to take our break, we're also going to give away some dice from Dicey_Encounters. So as we go into break, go ahead and be, as long as you are following us, enter in our chat. We'll say the word is going to be finger. Enter the word finger for your chance to win. If you enter it more than once, you're not going to get any more entries, so just don't do it.
You can only do it up to 5 times.
You can do it as many times as you want. It counts
As
once.
many times as you have fingers.
Yeah. We'll announce the winner when we come back from break. It is 10:34. We will be back at
Math.
10:50.
Okay.
There you go.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
And welcome back, folks, to Adventures in Alberon. We had a great break. Hope you guys all did as well. It's tough.
I didn't finish it.
We had 2 weeks that were great.
All right, I gotta take this one off screen.
Over the course of the break, we were able to pick a winner. So, DOSman in chat. You
Yeah,
are the winner
congrats,
of
man.
some dicey _ encounters.
Or
dice. Yeah.
DOS
Whoever
dude.
you are. Well, I think their name is DOSman. So
DOSman.
they could be whichever gender or any
Whatever.
gender that they would like. However. Yeah, so, sorry, not DOSman. I completely misread it.
Holy shit.
DOS949. You are...
Wow, that's close.
Yeah, DOS949. I got half the word there. DOS949, you have won a set of Dicey Encounters dice.
Yeah.
We'll reach out to you with some of the details there. You can pick out of their Instagram store. Check them out at Dicey _Encounters on Instagram. I strongly recommend getting the Descent dice. They're super cool. But whatever dice you get, you are the only person getting dice from Dicey Encounters, I think until like May or April or something. So enjoy that. But we'll reach out to you with the details after the show.
Woo.
Meanwhile, bringing us back in, the group of you have gotten to the cave entrance of this mine.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you've actually gathered within the entrance, the snow on the outside, still tumbling in and drifting to the inside, forming a fairly thick vein of snow that drifts into the cave itself. It leads into broken rubble and rocks, and you can see elements that have caved in slightly. There are broken bits of timber that jut out from the wall in places. Now that you're in the cave itself, and especially those of you with dark vision, you can see down about 70 feet. It branches into 4 different directions. The hallway that you go down goes forwards, left, and right. So the central path descends at a steeper gradient than the other 2. There are braces that are supported by these ancient timber beams. Guntir, there are Dwarven Runes. And actually, as you, Heinrich, kind of look up at the first beam, you see these thick, stout Dwarven Runes kind of shape themselves back into common. And the 2 of you read, and I would say you see the word mine. You see the word mine as well, because you do speak a little bit of Dwarven. But this is the Quick Cut Mines.
I would understand the Dwarven.
Don't you speak like a tiny bit of Elvish? No, sorry, just Elvish.
Elvish.
Right, just
Yeah.
Elvish. So you have no idea, just Dwarven Runes.
Yeah, okay. I was going to be surprised if it was
Quick
an
cut
Elvish. So.
mines?
Quick Cut Mines.
We say that out loud. Oh, no. Oh. No, I don't. If you speak Dwarven, I couldn't. But I can read it.
Say no more.
Well, all right, Len, and I'll.
Say no more in Dwarven.
And I don't fucking
Okay, so
understand.
you just
I
kind
join
of hear
in
Gunter
fake
go,
Dwarven.
what would be sit the mark,
Sit them out.
and you have no idea. What
I'd be like,
that means.
yeah, sit on Mark. Yeah, that's right.
I laugh like I know what Gunter said. I'm like,
And
Well, starts
as they're
laughing at
doing
you
that,
saying
as
say no more.
they're doing that, I just like create bonfire,
There is this fire filling a cube in front
and
of
I
you.
just set out to put rations on some like stick kind of things. Just cook a little.
Sure.
little
And
snack.
the
the poison
water-
steaks.
No,
the snow
absolutely, it
begins
is not
to-
the poison stakes. I make a very strong point to separate them.
Snow around the bonfire begins to melt, and you clear in the cave entrance a fairly, probably about 10 feet of warmth, we'll say.
Sweet.
And even that warmth is very, very little from the sucking cold wind that's blowing by this cave mouth.
Man, that cold sucks.
Yeah, cold sucks.
So I cook
It's giving you the big cold suck right now.
the big cold suck.
However, you are...
I get in the tiny little warmth
getting
instead.
a tiny little warmth.
Okay.
I'm taking a mark off for you guys.
Yeah, that was you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so like that and, I don't know, various other things for about an hour. I don't really know what else I'd be doing.
Okay.
Checking out the teeth again.
Sure. Doing anything? Anybody else doing anything? You guys are taking a short rest. So you have about an hour.
I'm gonna take a look at this proboscis.
And what are you trying to do with it? What are you trying to discern?
Trying to see, like, start working on making it into like a little hidden dagger kind of throwing dart.
Okay. Go ahead and make
Poison dart.
a tinker's check. You're not so just make a solid D20 roll and add your dexterity modifier.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a 10.
Okay. You guys, for anybody paying attention, you can see
No.
Guntir taking this thing, and every now and then he kind of taps it against elements of the wall, and you see he scrapes it up against something. Takes out a hammer and some
And it
tongs.
just breaks it.
He's like holding it in a pair of tongs, and you see him about to hit it, and just. So anyway, yeah, you don't make any progress with that particular endeavor. You imagine it's possible, you just can't see a way to really functionally do it in a cave in the blizzard. But, you know, maybe something you could work on later. Anybody else doing anything during the short rest?
Some light meditation.
Light meditation?
I feel like I might follow suit after eating.
Okay.
Just after having used powers to try to, like, see if I can trace them backwards to their origin. If that makes sense.
Trace what back?
The powers that I was just using. You don't have to...
Probably nothing really comes to you. You do take a moment to sort of focus your thoughts inwards on some of these things. Nothing comes to mind in like an intrusive or otherworldly way, but you are feeling for the first time, and you mentioned this a little bit during the break, in executing the tenets that you believe that helm or whatever power is steering you now is. You kept your group safe, and for the first time in the middle of a fight, there wasn't like 6 different things going on.
Right.
And there's a part of that you're part of a group.
And I gaze around at them fondly. And then I look at
You see
Guntir.
Guntir
Yeah, and then my
proboscis on the
gaze lingers a little extra on there, and like, that one will need some work.
I'm gonna be daydreaming. But you know, like when you go through, like you're like rethinking a fight or something,
Yeah.
and like how you would have done it differently or something, and you're like making the face. I'm gonna
Yeah.
accidentally do that by like looking at him, being like, and then I'm just gonna do it to everyone else.
Just to make it not seem weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna look at Shay, and then I'm gonna think about how I'm gonna talk to Craddock and be like,
So over the course of this hour, all of you at some point become aware of the fact that Morwen is making faces in your direction. But that's about it. Anything
It's
else
almost
you guys would
nothing
like to
new.
do during this hour that passes? You can mark off a short rest uninterrupted.
Hell yeah!
Do I
I don't have to use the hit dice, right? During
No,
a short- Cool.
no, totally optional. But feel free to do so if you would like.
Don't need to.
Meanwhile, you guys it's starting to get even darker, and you'd imagine it's getting close to like 3:30, maybe even 4 o'clock. Night's going to come around 6. It's probably about 2 hours left of daylight.
Still 2 hours of movement.
Do you think there'd be another place to stop in a little further up?
There's always nooks and crannies. We're entering the mountains now.
It's true, and Guntir can always move the snow around us.
Ah,
Oh, we're just talking about shelter in the near
Ah.
future, since the sun's gonna set soon.
yeah. You want me to do it?
Not right now, no.
No.
Goes
So,
back
yeah.
to focusing on his
I think
task.
so. I think that would be wise. Let's get as far as we can, as fast as we can,
Okay.
and as safely as we can.
So gathering up your belongings and extinguishing the fire,
It
presumably.
was only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I guess
You-
I'd reignite it.
Yeah, you're just kind of bamfing.
It's
it every
like
couple
tending the
minutes.
fire. It's
Sure.
just like
I like to imagine you still take a stick and kind of poke at it a little bit.
yeah, pretending that
Yeah.
it's actually doing anything.
You guys take your belongings and progress along this mountain, now exiting the cave and working your way back towards the gate. Towards the gates. One moment.
But go.
These gates, which once stood guard over one of the entryways to the eventual Godwalk, and eventually, if you were to take the correct path, the Giant Step. You can see it leads, if you were to progress through it, leads up and to the right and kind of disappears around the side of the mountain, maybe 200 feet away. There are no trees on that walk, and you can see it is a very barren path. There are here and there, like you said, nooks and crannies that perhaps you could take shelter in. None that you see from here that are huge, that you could maybe all fit in comfortably, but there are some here and there. The wind is picking up, and it is getting darker.
I mean,
What are we doing?
keeping an eye out every once in a while, checking for trouble, I guess.
Okay.
And
I think
then-
we just keep proceeding cautiously,
I'm
right?
still moving.
Yeah.
I'm just
following Shay, grumbling.
I mean, I personally want to get. I'm assuming we're all on the same page that like we want to get as far as we can without being utterly exhausted,
Yes.
right? Or if we find shelter, like a safe space first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Otherwise,
pushing up through the path of ascension?
Yeah.
Okay. The wind is picking up, and as you begin to rise, you pass through these two huge wooden pillars. The pillars themselves, perhaps 20 feet tall, although you're aware that you can see segmentation of it. You don't quite see the end. It vanishes up into the swirling snow and grayness. You can see, I would say, especially Guntir, there are tool marks. These are probably work by hand. But where you see a flat pane where a chisel might be, it's almost this wide. Whatever hands crafted these were large. Giant, perhaps. Shay, you do know that there was an ancient giant city vertically built into this mountain area, across 3 different peaks, actually, leading to the giant steppe, which technically spans almost to Kol Tiran. You guys winding your way up this path, there are a few steps here and there, mostly buried in snow. So as you walk, you suddenly will kind of kick into something and feel field stones that have been built up to, in the spring, allow for the progression through here for people who would be heading actually probably towards Kol Tiran. You make your way up. I need you, you're leading the way.
Yes.
Make a perception check.
the lake is still on the map.
Well, you know, we'll work on that later.
Yeah.
18.
What was it?
18.
18. With an 18, you guys walk maybe 20 minutes getting to the edge where you couldn't really see and begin to kind of wind around. It begins to wind up. And you can see now the little bits of dead vegetation poking out from the snow are getting steadily smaller to the point where it's just a barren path. The path is getting a little wider. An area is almost 30 feet out from the mountain. But as you progress up, it's getting steeper and steeper as a drop off to your right. And after about 30 minutes, you kind of peek over and you just see gray. In that moment, there's this gust of wind, and you're acutely aware of how easy it would be to be brushed off the side.
Yep.
What was your perception check?
18.
Another 10 minutes brings you to a portion where all of a sudden, as you round and begin to go even further up to a part where you guys would imagine this is no longer 2 feet, you guys are going to have to climb a little bit. Maybe 40 feet. That's not quite vertical, but close to an 80 degree incline. Very, very steep and full of just loose snow and large rocks. It goes in, and there's an overhang about 20 feet wide. And Shay, you leading the way, notice that there is the remnants of a fire. You can see up a couple different shapes. There's like a crate, maybe like a sack up against the far wall of this cave. Mm-hmm. And you can see the full wall. There is no openings that you can see that are immediately evident. Mm-hmm. You also see... That was an 18?
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 bedrolls, one of which is unmade. There is a like a pot over this extinguished fire, although you cannot see into it at this moment. And you can see off to the right, sort of near where that path becomes almost vertical, 2 pegs in the ground, right where the snow kind of ends, so you can see them actually sticking into the rock itself, and what looks like perhaps leather lines that have been broken, cut, or are no longer there. You can't really tell from this distance. But that's what you see. Oh, sorry, one other thing that's actually kind of important. There's a small push cart, which was almost like a wheelbarrow,
Yep.
on its side.
They're gonna say a small person.
Small people.
By the way, there's people.
There's people?
How'd you get here?
Any way of telling how old that fire is?
From this distance, probably not, but if you want to get a little closer and investigate it,
I feel
yeah.
like we'd all
Check it
approach
out.
at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
You all approach.
What's that?
As you approach, a couple of other details come into view. Shay, you in the front see first that sack up against the back is not a sack.
Wonderful.
It is the upper portion of a dwarf. You can see very much a darker skin, and you're aware now, looking at it almost purpley, this has been dead. Hard to tell in this temperature, actually. The skin itself, not terribly marked up, but it's frozen almost solid. And you can see now that there is blood leading out from the torso where it has been eviscerated, pooled and frozen into like a flat sheet almost underneath him. You would also see within that crate there are bits of glinting metal. You can see there are belongings scattered throughout. This looks like a campground of some kind. You see there is a banner kind of half down, and it seems to be Dwarvish runes on it.
What does it say?
What happened here?
I'm gonna.
I mean, I have a bunch of ideas,
look
but
at
I
the
don't want
shiny stuff. Go see if there's anything good.
Make an investigation check as you approach the crate.
I'm joining.
You as well.
First, the Dwarven Runes as I'm walking towards the body.
So as you
Ultimate goal is body,
so
but
the two of you are
I'm
walking
reading
towards
it.
the body?
I want to stop and check the fire because I'm curious how old it is.
Okay. So the way that we're going to do this, which makes the most sense, is going to be the two of you, you and you.
Mm-hmm.
So the two of you.
6.
13.
Okay. Guntir, as you kind of dig through, you pull like the boring blankets and the kind of crap that's not important, and you throw it away. You pull out 1 piece of gold, 3 pieces of silver, and 20 pieces of copper. In addition, there is a sewing kit. Morwen, you find 21 pieces of gold, 10 pieces of silver, and 102 pieces of copper. You find this in this very hidden parcel within one of the blankets that Guntir throws aside. You hear this, and as you dig through, that's where you find the money. And rooting through the money, there is actually a copper ring. It's been shined to a fine polish with a moonstone, about this big, set in, but no, not very fancy. It's like an uncut moonstone, still beautiful.
I still like.
And a piece of paper kind of rolled up, and would you like to unroll it?
Yep, but just give me 1 second to write down.
Sure. It's in Dwarvish, so you can't read it. But a bunch of Dwarvish.
Copper
And a bunch of
ring
people can read
with
that.
moonstone, you said.
Yes.
Okay, and then, well, if I mean, I'm sure I can recognize that it's at least Dwarvish, so I'll give it to Guntir to
Yeah.
read to me.
You also find a journal
Ooh, that I can't read.
that you cannot read, but it is a blackish leather, bound with red string, and kind of flipping through it. There are a few little drawings, and if you would like to investigate it, you could take some time to do that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of all that you do. So you take the book and begin to look through it. Heinrich, you are looking.
So I'm walking towards the body to investigate it while also just reading what the banner says.
You can't make it out because the banner is half closed, but you do see
okay.
the end. Looks like it just says Brahm, and so it doesn't really do that shaping thing because you don't see the full word.
Okay, interesting.
But as you approach the body, make a medicine check, or are you just investigating?
So what I'm trying to do is pull out the teeth and use that as corresponding
Okay, make a medicine
data.
check.
Huh? Yeah, I'm just trying to see if those like teeth, like serrated teeth that I found before from the cow, are
Yeah,
like the
absolutely.
same.
Then make an investigation check.
Right. 16.
Yeah. Looking at this body, you can see the face badly beat up, and there's a big portion missing, and you immediately see there's one of those teeth kind of dangling out. You see just the root
These
of
things
it
lose its
sticking
teeth
through.
like crazy.
They
All right,
do.
I'll take this one out too and compare it to the other ones.
And it's a not perfect match, but it's from the same animal,
Right. Okay.
without a doubt. And looking at these teeth, now that you've kind of said, yeah, they do lose a lot of teeth, the root of this seems as if it's designed to break off. Almost like it throws these teeth, maybe like a quill when it bites.
Ugh. Don't like that. Piecing together a really nasty beast. And then I'll just like, after making that conclusion, be like, well, I might as well just see if there's anything on
You
him that
said
I
you
could
rolled a
use.
16 for a medicine? Or for investigation?
Yeah.
He does have like this sort of weird tan for a dwarf. You've seen Kol Taram dwarves. It is from Kol Taram. And now that you're kind of by the body and looking up, and you can see like into the fold of this banner, it says Frock Brahm, which as it rearranges, reads simply freedom. Make a.
I would say that
nature
out
check.
loud, almost
Or
with the
survival
intention
check,
of,
sorry.
almost with the intention of informing you, just because you know these parts. So if there's something that means
18.
18. You approach the fire, and as the two of them immediately rush for the belongings and begin kind of like tugging on things and going through the gold and different things, and Heinrich approaches the body, you bend by the fire. It's fairly cold to the touch. There's a couple of things that are interesting about it to you. It was. You can tell from the fact that it's entirely burnt down to a gray ash. This was left to die on its own, which is unusual, considering there's a pot above it. And as you peer into the pot, there is what looks like a brownish liquid that's separated into water on the top, and this kind of murky brown. It's coffee that has been frozen and separated as it froze. Looking at the evidence that you can see, and because of how cold it is, it's no older than 6 hours.
Anything else of note, like around it? Anything weird? Anything odd? Anything?
You begin to look around the campsite, and taking this information in the time frame, you look over and you see these pegs emerging from the ground, and you remember that half of an ark that was dropped on your camp
Yep.
may have belonged to this dwarf.
And the cart and stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Does freedom mean anything to you? Did anyone Culturam have political? Not literally just the word, but in relation to.
Let's get deep and political right now.
In relation to
There's
why
a-
these people would be here.
There's a resistance group of dwarves in Coltaram
I'm gonna go
that are
take a look
fighting
at the
for their
dwarf's
freedom.
face, see if I
Hmm.
does he
Oh,
look
no.
like maybe
So you think
these
these
were
were
fighters?
dwarf that the guy was
And they were
the
escaping or
monster
something.
was
That's
meant to be?
horrible.
I'll say even just
With
a quick glance,
the
it doesn't look like it.
evacuation, there is a group
Two
that
different
still
dwarves.
resists.
They're both from Coltaram, though, for what it's
They
worth.
both look like
Yep.
And they died.
It's not a good fate.
Is this
Definitely.
place as any? Make us a palace?
Alright.
Try to make it look natural.
Do you know that thing that hit you in the last?
like do my thing.
Wait, what are you
Make it
doing
sort
here?
of like,
He's just
look
dancing.
like it's sort of just a windswept,
Like a drift.
yeah, like a drift, but then like kind of more closed off.
Guntir controls the snow, and where there was this kind of overhang, almost pulls it into this shelf of ice that gradually forms a wall, so that you can see about this wide a doorway if you approach directly from the north path, but you would imagine from above you wouldn't really be able to see it. It just blends into the white. I feel pretty confident about it.
Nice job. Nice job.
I'm gonna go start burying the guy's half
Okay.
of his body.
So you
Burying in the stone.
Give him a good dwarven
You
bury.
kind of ching. It is stone.
What kind of
I'm gonna
stuff?
help because I
stone
feel
cutting
really
check.
horribly that they died trying to run away for their freedom. That's
Okay.
really sad to me.
That's 16.
So, interestingly, this mountain, you're recognizing has these trace minerals, and you get close to the rock, and you sort of peer at the stone. Where you hit, actually, especially, you can see there are glints of almost like a blackish silvery mineral, and you recognize that this is a mineral called...
Look at you, so fancy.
Did I just strike dwarven gold?
It is called acanthite. It is a blackish silvery crystal that forms usually in seams of quartz, and you especially would know that this can, through a process that you're not really familiar with, but you have a vague idea that this is what is done with this, it can be smelted into silver.
Oh, I'm gonna
And now you're beginning to think about those, especially Guntir,
And immediately-
that cave, the mines that you were in, probably a silver mine.
all right. I'm gonna make note of that.
Okay.
Try to get as much of it as I can.
There's like little flecks of it in the
Oh,
stone.
okay, so I gotta, like, go
you would need to.
You're like, I'm gonna bury this guy. Ooh, silver.
Yeah.
Give him a nice,
Burying
give
the
him a nice
guy.
dwarven burial.
So
he said.
as you are now like holding this up
Which
and looking at
is
it,
to
Morwen
look for
finishes
minerals.
the job of actually digging the hole and burying.
Well, I would
the
help. I would help out too. I definitely would
I'm
feel
gonna just
bad
like,
putting all
okay.
this together.
I'll go and get some silver later if I get the time.
Sure. And you file that away for later. However, you are within this sort of cave. The wind howling by. It's getting very dark now. About 6 o'clock.
No light, no attention. Are we all warm enough? We don't need a fire, right?
Should be quiet. Should be dark.
Use a
Yeah.
blanket.
Then I go outside and I grab one of the blankets that he chucked in the snow and I'm like, found you one.
Chuck a blanket in the snow.
Yeah, you chuck. Yeah, when you went through the thing, you
When
like
it's-
chucked
you
shit.
can just take
We
it
were just, like,
random
Is
stuff
it like
Yeah.
bloody or anything?
No, these were
Okay.
these were just kind of like things that were packed for this trip.
That's
it
where I
seems.
found all my gold. It's the blankets you threw away.
Did you find anything
What?
else?
What?
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 Huh?
Well, gold, sure, but did you find anything else
You
interesting?
said gold. What?
Whatever.
I didn't find anything.
Yeah.
What'd you find?
Was like
What are you talking about?
gold.
I found that
They had nothing.
we're in direct danger
I
related
did
to our first
find,
encounter here.
Oh, I'm gonna take some time to look at my journal. Oh wait, no, stop.
Toasty.
What did that dwarven letter say? I gave it to you.
What? Oh, what? What? You just gave me this?
No, this did happen.
The journal?
No. There was like you
rolled
said there was a
up
piece of
paper.
paper that came with the ring, or that I
Oh.
found at the same time of the ring that had.
Oh,
dwarven
yeah,
ri-
sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I gave
So
it to him
you-
to read. Yeah.
Pulling this out, it is a
By the
deed.
way.
It is a deed to a smallish home. It's a 4-room home called Den Cupperkiln, which you would know as Dwarvish for the Happy Hearth. For what it's worth, it is located in Kol Taram on the 4th tier, on the 5th road, if that's especially helpful to you.
4th tier,
5th road.
5th road.
And it is Den Cupperkiln.
All right.
It seems that this is the place that these people are from.
All right, I'm gonna tuck that away. And be like, looks like we've got ourselves a place to stay in Kol Taram.
I guess so. Sort of. Let's take care of that dragon first.
What it's worth.
All right.
Did you find anything else though?
Yeah.
What was it?
A book.
Oh, my eyes light up.
And it is
One of
a
them does.
Very well worn.
I'm holding it upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black leather journal with red stitching, and you can see there's like a little red ribbon that goes into about 3/4 of the way through the book, holding its place.
What is it? Do you have any idea? Someone's personal journal?
Yeah, obviously. It's someone's personal journal. Yeah.
Can I see it?
No, I get to look first.
Okay.
You can't read.
Make an investigation check.
For it.
Stop doing that.
11.
Okay. You flip through really quick, and as you do, there's a couple pictures that do catch your eye. It seems that this individual, not a great artist by any means, but passable. And the first thing that catches your eye, you stop and like quickly go back, and turning to about 12 entries forward, and it does seem to be a journal. 13 entries forward, there is a picture of a dragon, somewhat stylized, but way thinner and more almost cat-like than you would imagine a dragon to look. The ones that you've seen in pictures, and you've been to festivals and you've hung around pirates who draw them, and you've seen figureheads. They're always pictured as these huge, like, broad beasts. This thing is serpentine. And you see, despite this, it is much larger than a man. And something about the eyes are so off-putting to you that you almost have to avert them.
I'm gonna lean over his shoulder and look.
What language can I? Or I mean, I'm sure there's actually handwriting in it. What can I? What language do I recognize it as?
From what you've seen being around this group, seems to be
Dwarvish.
Dwarvish.
Okay. So I guess when I see the dragon, I'm just gonna be like, here.
Oh, I catch it.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
open
don't
it up.
throw it, but I'm like,
Okay, and I open it up, and Guntir and I
For
start.
you,
first the picture of the
runes
dragon. Yeah.
shift, and for you, you can read the Dwarvish.
Just like,
So first of all,
your
you see
eyes.
a picture of a dragon.
Weird
Yeah.
eyes.
Okay, so there's a few things that are going to come up here. You see the picture of the dragon. You see everything that she saw. There's nothing that stands out to you aside from those eyes. There's something so off-putting about them. But as you flip through the book a little bit, it seems to belong, and you go to the very front, to a man named Carver Darkmelt. And flipping through, you get the basic story that him and his wife were fleeing Kol Taram from the oppression of the Purple Tyrant. They traveled down through the undercity of Kol Taram, through the lower tier, and were able to escape with the help and with a larger group. The group split, with some of them heading to
So you said, where did they escape from?
Kol Taram,
No.
from the undercity.
Okay, there was no specific locations.
It just says the undercity. Yeah.
Okay, so entrance and under.
Almost pointedly, there is.
Vague.
It is a very vague journal, and like the very first entries are speaking of like trouble within the mines, and this guy, for what it's worth, was a cook.
Okay.
And near the upper portions of Kulturam, so not anywhere near the mines. Not that you would know that.
No.
The trouble seems to have started, as far as you can tell, about 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm. When is that in relation to? Oh no, wait, that's well before the scale.
Well
was
before.
fire. Yeah. Because we had heard about rumors while we were in Port Quinn when we
This
started.
would be right around the time that star appeared.
Okay.
You notice, flipping through this really quickly, something catches your eye very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
He speaks about, and this is after, and so there's so much information here. The best
Just
order to
send
do
it in
this
an email later.
yeah, I will. But the general gist of it, this dragon burst forth from the mithril mines underneath Kulturam, burst through the Undercity.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, there was an attack from the outside, other creatures.
Okay. Are they identified?
Yeah, they speak of Ettins.
Okay.
There is talk of giant humanoids, not specifically giants, but something separate from the Ettins. There is talk of dragon-like creatures. Not dragons, but dragons that walk upright, not dragonborn. This particular individual has no idea what these are.
So dragonoid upright creatures?
Yes, large.
Large, okay. Alright.
And the most common thing that you read is about the dreams.
Okay.
Right after the troubles began, the dreams began.
Okay.
Nightmares. You smell ash and see fire, teeth and wings.
Tracks.
Just all these visions of this horrific creature and the death that it could bring upon the world. And it seems like it begins as these sort of vague images, and they sharpen as time progresses.
I am now going to be very watchful of my companions as they sleep.
Yeah.
No, you weren't before.
Um,
No, I'm just kidding.
He talks about these creatures moving from level to level, and there are dwarves putting up resistance. The Stone Guard, which you gather are kind of like the local militia or defense force of Kulturam,
Okay.
which Guntir would actually know much more than a militia. Citadels don't have militias, they have armies. But the Stone Guard are holding out in pockets of defense. The thing that catches your eye, Heinrich,
Mm-hmm.
On his way down through the Undercity, Carver and his wife passed a group of tieflings entering, despite all the trouble, looking for a new start, having been persecuted within the confines of the Kingdom of Sarental,
Mm-hmm.
something that you're very familiar with.
And this was when? In relation to the story they're telling? Before you...
3 weeks ago.
Okay. 2 things right after... Okay. Alright. Keep going, sorry.
The thing that really catches your eye about that, more than the fact that there's a group of tieflings, which real weird,
Yep.
one of them bore the mark of Helm.
Okay.
Flipping through, they traveled from the Undercity and out, eventually making it to a place that is called... Guntir has never heard of it. However, the name of it is Kol... Blacktither, which is not pronounced how it's spelled, but you can call it Kol Blacktither if you would like for the moment. Kol means citadel in Dwarvish. You have no idea what this is, but they passed through it. It seems to be elements of an abandoned citadel, perhaps, that most of the group stayed and tried to begin starting some kind of a home in. They were, Carver and his wife were going to push to Port Quinn. They had heard of like a dwarven district being started by refugees and wanted to become a part of that. The most recent entry was dated 3 days ago. It's where that ribbon was held in place, and it speaks of a different kind of screech, not like the kind that you hear within these dreams, and it speaks of another dragonoid creature high amongst these peaks, stalking them, circling them.
This is the thing that killed him.
And that's the last entry.
Probably died about 3 days ago.
Mm.
Sooner. That fire was going up until about 6 hours ago.
Yeah. think it's following them. There's something else up here. That's what it says.
And then I relay all of the information.
Yeah, so we all know that now.
Likely not them specifically, but hunting.
Did it mention
So-
multiples or just one?
Of which?
The new Dragonoid, the Shrieking, the one that we now are piecing together, dropped the cow.
It speaks
Drop
of them
the rock.
as a species, so it's hard to tell if they're speaking about more than one or just
Right.
this thing.
But they saw more than one, most likely, if they said species, as opposed to, like...
Without
that's
him
my
here,
guess.
Without talking to him, it would be very difficult to
Of
discern.
course, yeah.
I don't know if it's well.
So, how far away are we from your place?
Quite a ways still,
Can you give us like a
roughly.
You haven't taken this path. You don't really know how far it winds through or into the mountain. You guys don't take this. This is like a real slow way.
Yeah.
So you have no idea.
no idea at all?
I mean,
Do you
if you were
lose-
Okay, so
traveling
if
with
I
a
was-
group of the Zinyi, you
If I was
could-
going my normal pace
Mhm.
and going a way that was familiar from a relatively similar point.
Sure. It would take you to get to the monastery, maybe only 4 days.
This group, 6?
Up the Godwalk?
No.
Assuming that
A
they could
month, the way
survive
that
it
we
or
were.
No,
even
not that.
ascend it.
The way that we're intending to
The way that
go.
you have no idea. You've never gone this way.
Okay, great.
Yeah, hard to draw. hard to
No
draw
idea.
paths.
Well,
No idea.
you don't know
Well,
how to get home?
Well, not with us in tow. You've seen her.
You know how to get there, but to walk in a straight line would pass you through mountains, so it's hard to tell the direct path.
If you were of my order
Just,
and we were traveling as
let's
quickly
go.
as we could,
Okay.
Let's
maybe
go
about 4
to
days.
sleep.
So then let's go as quickly as we can. We'll make it in 3.
That's okay. You're walking. Where are you going?
Just kidding, I don't know.
Guntir.
You're exiting this cave that you built and into the darkness and the howling vortex of wind beyond.
I feel like I would have just grabbed him by whatever loose fabric.
By the cloak and just
Yeah, just back
I
in.
think I'm
Okay.
going to catch as much sleep as I can before I'm woken up because there's a dragon.
It's probably a good idea.
Alright.
right
You're
out.
gonna keep watch for real?
Yeah,
Alright.
as best as I can.
Okay, so if I,
I mean-
get hit by another half of a cow,
That's your own fault. Because you have my word, I'm keeping the best watch I can. If you
That's
want to
your
blame
best.
someone,
I'd hate to see your worst.
you would.
I'm gonna go to sleep now.
You would, and then I... No, just kidding. Minor illusion, my eye is falling out of my head. I actually
You know
don't
what?
have that. I'm just kidding.
Actually, because this is going to be of more use to you, and I've hardly used it, I'm going to be like, hey, since you're like reading so much,
Well, that's... Yeah, it's kind of all I've been doing in my downtime.
I know that's all you do anyway, but I pass on Doradin's diary for whatever.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Psst. I want to know what's in that.
Oh. Okay. And I open it up and I see that it's in the language she can't read because it's all of them. It's any of them.
No, I've been
Very
able to read it.
interesting book. As she
It's
passes
like
to you.
it's if I can open it before something crazy
I've been
happens.
holding on to it, but I'm.
Well, like, can I
Morwen's
before
not a
something
reader.
happens? Okay. I just didn't know if it was like gonna make a magic feeling or whatever.
I mean, it feels magical as it's passed you. Is
Okay.
what I was going to say.
Okay, cool. And that's about as deep as my knowledge of magic goes anyway, so I can't discern anything, right?
But as you open it up to the first page,
Mm-hmm.
you see a date.
Mm-hmm.
It is yesterday's date. The writing, as it shifts, is elvish at first,
Okay.
and it conglomerates. It is shaky writing.
Mm-hmm.
It is from this elvish woman who speaks to this man who she identifies as her dear dwarf, although she speaks about him in a way that makes it really seem like he's not alive anymore.
Okay. Sure.
It speaks of how she will find and avenge whoever it was that is responsible for his death,
Mm-hmm.
and that she's leaving Biss soon.
And as all of this is happening, I feel like I'm just like pacing and like walking, and then I lean up against the wall and kind of like slouch down and just kind of like totally engrossed now.
And it's signed.
Yeah.
It is an elvish woman's name that I don't have in front of me.
That's
It's
okay.
That's from Session.
Not Doradin?
What?
Not Doradin's. It's not. That's not the name.
Dorgan. It's so.
Doradin's
Dorgan is the dwarf. So she's writing to.
So I
Dorgan.
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was
She's
just
writing-
reminding
she's
in case
writing
you
to
forgot the
Dorgan.
name of it. Yeah.
But
Okay.
her name is. I'll send it to you as an elvish.
Mm-hmm.
And even as you finish reading it, the writing at the top is beginning to fade.
Can I flip through and see if there's any more? Or is it all empty?
Blank pages.
Okay. And I consider that and I close it. I'm not writing back yet. Because that's fucking creepy.
Morwen's been holding on to that for real time, probably
Like 7
months.
Yeah.
8
In
months?
game?
No.
No,
Real
like
world.
real time.
Oh, real world?
Like this piece of
I've been
paper has
holding
been in
on to
your
that for a
possession
long
for a
Close
time.
to a
month.
year, yeah. There's a whole plot line involved there. That
I
could
know,
happen.
but Morwen's not a reader
Yeah,
as much
no,
as I
absolutely.
appreciate it. Like,
Yeah.
The best thing is that Morwen
Morwen doesn't pick up books. She
In your
just
little
doesn't.
dice bag, there are so many magical item slips in there. that you
I
just-
have 2 copies of that.
Yeah. So.
That's intriguing as all
Yeah,
hell.
it is, and I'll send you a little bit more about it
Yeah.
in your lore. Meanwhile,
I have a thick fucking lore email coming.
yeah.
Can't wait.
Meanwhile,
lot of
are you leaving?
No, I already pulled him
Oh
back.
yeah, right. So the
I'm like,
three of you go to
fuck.
Because his
sleep.
eyes clearly weren't working.
I think I would have stayed
I
up
was
a little
like,
bit later, just kind of
Actually,
keeping
keep
an
watch.
eye
I don't
on
want
here.
any like
After I pass him the
flying
book, I
carcasses.
pass the fuck out.
Okay, so the two of you sleep. Shay, you stay up for a little bit longer. Is there anything that you guys want to do before you go to bed?
I don't know. Anything that you need to... I mean, look at them. They're asleep. You need to say anything? Is there anything you don't want to be interrupted?
That box.
Yeah. The
Where-
reliquary?
Where did you get it?
I told you I got it from... What was the Ska.
This Ska. Describe him.
Well, he was the one who owned the cold heart, the tiefling. And I described him because it's been long enough I remember what he looks like.
Suddenly, your mind goes back to the Lorebinder Academy and you asking around about people who looked like you.
Yep.
And they had been escorting somebody not dressed in the garb of your people, a tiefling.
Yep. He's missing, yes?
Well, he wasn't there when we were in Port Quinn last. I mean, he gave it to me with... So the feeling was that he didn't want anyone to find him with it, is all I got out of it.
He didn't tell you where he got it.
No. He said he found it on the road, more or less, which is a vague statement, but... I can't say he was the most straight and narrow type, so there's a possibility he lifted it.
There's also a possibility now he's dead.
Well... And 2 thoughts passed through my mind. 1, fuck, that's like one of my childhood best friends. And also 2, well, I guess I own a bar now.
Dramatic.
There's a silver lining,
You
I
remember
suppose.
when I told you that we're being followed?
Yeah. Is it by your people? No. I thought it was the others.
They were once my people. They are no longer.
A divide in the faction, or whatever.
As far as I can tell.
Okay.
Most likely they have your friend.
Because the description you were given was of that color scheme. The people that didn't look quite like your people, but did.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's good that we don't have it. That much is true, at least.
It is likely safe at the monastery now, but that doesn't necessarily save anyone.
Right. Where would they take him? Where do these...
They're at the giant step.
The divide of your faction. Do they have a name so we can just identify them?
Not that I know.
So not Jinyi, Jin... Jinye? Jin...
They have not
Janae.
Janae?
named
Janae?
themselves to me,
Okay.
for I am not ready to hear it yet, so they say.
Why would they say that? to lure you over to their side or something, or?
Heinrich, as this is set, something else from long ago comes to your head. You remember long ago, making your way through a cave, rounding a little shortcut that you found. You came across a creature, odd, single eye, green, glowing, seeming to be gazing at Shay through the wall. And you remember it seeing you and saying, "Not yet," before vanishing.
Do you remember that at that moment?
For people at home, this happened almost a year ago.
Yeah, so fucking course I would remember that shit.
I was about to say, I don't remember that happening.
This was
Remember those like giant drum things that we went around where you found Frank's skull and you were using it a lot? The caves that went down to the Cortega boss.
This was session 9.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyways,
Not episode 9.
I think
Whatever.
I found
Session
Frank's
8.
skull later.
Back to
I
it.
put it
You had him
when
then.
I put the fingers up everyone's
Yeah,
noses.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
This is
They were all like
That's what
torture
you should-
chamber.
That's what you should have said.
Forget about it.
before the stream.
Holy shit, forget about it. No, don't forget, but... And I described that moment. I was like, are those the same people as...
It would be strange. But
But if things are watching us, and they said that to you, not yet, or you're not ready yet, are they tied?
I don't know. There's
Well, that seems...
so much shrouded in mystery still.
Yeah.
Morwen and
For me.
Guntir, please make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
Cheesy crackers.
Nope. Yeah.
16.
Okay.
I swear, if the other half of the cow falls, I'm going to be pissed at you.
Yeah.
That's not what the save is for.
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to get back to you in a second.
Cool.
You're sipping pretty good.
I will be honest with you, part of my return will involve a lengthy discussion as to what is going on
Right.
with my people.
Right. Because you were sent on some mission, right?
I was sent to track the woman who murdered close to 300 people. It was a training exercise in the mountains. She killed them all
It's 1 in 300.
by herself.
And is this... Oh, shit, I don't remember. Have I seen the woman that was at the Stone Fist, and then not when I approached you in that the town we left, where we left our
Golders
ship.
Bay.
Yeah, I know I didn't see her there. Did I see her in the Fist Hall?
Friend.
I don't think I
the
was there
person
either.
that you fought in the Fist Hall was different than that person.
Okay, so I haven't even seen any of these people actually, right? I don't think those are the only two you encountered yet. Okay, so never mind. I don't have a question for that.
So far,
I'd be
of
like,
you
oh
guys,
shit, that sounds
you are the
terrifying.
only person who has seen Hylon.
Right. Well, if this person's up ahead, I guess we should be very careful, I suppose.
She's not alone,
And are they all as strong as her?
likely.
Okay, so try to avoid a fight is another thing.
I'm not taking you to the giant step because we're not ready.
Well,
I'm not ready.
okay, so we're not going that way.
No.
What does the path we're taking have a name, just so I can remember?
Doesn't have a name.
I mean, people call it the Path of Ascension.
Okay.
You don't know if there is like a official name for it, but
Okay.
colloquially, that's what it's called.
Okay, so they're like, oh, okay. Well, good then, I guess. Even better that we're not heading that way. That's a lot to sit on. I will be thinking a lot while everyone's resting. And then I look over and just check on them.
Real quickly, just to cut in, also, that's what she said.
Nice, nice, nice. I'm going to sit on it. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Save us another mark. Your turn now. So I was just also seeing transitioning because I also want to gaze and see, like, are they
Going to
doing
sleep?
well? They sleeping well?
Okay. Look around. Seems to be okay for the moment.
Okay.
Um,
No one's
Gunter-
tossing or
Gunter,
turning.
I mean, make a perception check.
Sure.
Perceive well, please.
Yeah, this isn't the kind of keep watch you thought I'd have to do, huh?
Watch over my
21, natural 20.
body.
That is a...
Both sleeping very peacefully. Guntir quietly, which is weird.
Yeah, he usually grunts and gunts and shit.
But Shay, you're going to sleep?
And shits.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Ew.
No, he's not incontinent.
I'm like covered in the blanket.
17.
17,
Right
okay.
over my head.
The three of them sleep. And
Okay.
The first couple hours go by. You don't seem to notice anything. And again, you are in a very insulated kind of cave, and the opening is designed so that you can really only see it from right in front of it.
Right.
So you feel pretty safe. But go ahead and make a perception check as you
Cool.
stand watch.
So I know Gunter's quiet, and now I watch. 16.
Okay.
That's
Throughout
the one
the
that
night.
let the cow fall.
And all of you can mark off a long rest.
Hooray.
Even you. But we'll get to you in a moment. Heinrich, probably close to 3 or 4 in the morning. Louder now. You can hear somewhere outside, somewhere still above you, even ascending, can't really tell, but probably 400 or 500 feet up on this mountain. A long, low, mournful screech. And as it echoes across the mountain peaks, it does have a sense that it's searching for something. The first rays of light begin, really notes of gray. The wind less intense this time around, although not by much. But morning does find you. Guntir, over the course of the night you do dream.
Oh, jeez.
It's dark at first, and you smell ash. You hear in the darkness a big nose snort in. Just air. What are you afraid of? You wake up. All of you come to, probably close to 6 in the morning. It's, still fairly early because you did find rest early enough, maybe half an hour. You wake up a little bit later. But morning comes.
So, remember that dream that was in the diary?
Yeah, you were kind of quiet last night.
I had that dream. What's that mean?
What was the dream?
I was like ash in my mouth.
Well, you gotta clear the pipe
Snout
first.
thing kind of come up. It was like, what are you afraid of? And I was like,
It asked you what you were afraid of.
yeah, I didn't say anything to him.
What are you afraid of?
I
Don't
ain't afraid
actually-
of anything.
Keep it that way. It seems if it was prying you for that, and this is definitely possibly the source.
I'm no fool.
Good.
Maybe it's
Good.
like after dwarves. I slept fine.
Yep.
Well, looks like this one's gonna be an old Guntir brain battle.
Aha.
What?
Start doing
What?
mornings.
Okay. There's immediately like a
A
cacophony.
brain battle and you
Crack,
do
crack,
stretches.
So you stretch out your physical body for your mental task ahead.
And then I add like I just like a,
Okay, you do that.
and that's how I start my day today.
Mm-hmm.
Little extra gunting,
Yep.
but you all find your way awake. It's about 6 in the morning, still blizzardy outside, maybe a little less.
Good.
What do you want to do?
Well, it looks like it's
Onward.
starting to break. Maybe.
And I'm about to.
We need to keep moving.
You're about to what,
And
Morwen?
Avoid
Continue
all of that.
Wonderful. That's
our adventure.
yeah.
Alright, lead the way.
And then I catch up and like, let us know when we're getting close to that place.
Nom on some.
If we pass by this
Okay.
Oh
giant
yeah, I ate a
smash.
ration
Yeah,
because
of
I
course.
haven't yet.
Have a
If
little
this
quick
trail
breakfast.
passes by the giant step, let us know to be.
Does it?
As far as you can tell, no. But again, no idea where you're going.
Yes.
Just a vague idea that, you need to get past this mountain in order to get into the Valley of Vigor, and then a much easier path is the valley. The valley is fairly peaceful.
Right.
Again, in the north.
Yes.
Again, when the Pillar of Scales hasn't been active.
Yeah.
Again, Yeah.
All those things.
All those
Normally these things, and
Yes.
nothing is normal.
Yes. Onward.
Okay.
Sure. So you guys pack up the few belongings that you've set out.
Well, I'm gonna say a little. I don't know, not prayer necessarily, but I guess a prayer for the dwarf thing one more time. Just be like, thank you for helping us without even knowing that you were doing that. It's given us a little bit of ammunition, if you will, against the onslaught, like those dreams and possible entry points and other information that I find very relevant. But none of that is said. That's just felt in the way that I like kind of
As
say
you guys
whatever the
gather
words
You
are.
don't
around-
say anything out loud.
No, I do, but I'm not good
Okay,
at that
so
shit in real life. Sorry.
I'm gonna
I say
sing
some nice words.
A farewell friend piratey song kind of thing. Louder over his prayer.
So
All right, here I'm starting to talk, and I'm like, oh.
so there's this
Who
moment.
died
it's
on the
very-
mountain?
Avalanche.
There's a very somber. There's a very somber moment where you stay over this kind of mound that has been left. The only
Prayer of
remnants.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, the only remnants of the occupant who had established this camp. Who equipped you guys with a decent amount of knowledge and,
Oh, yeah.
and began to kind of connect some
Shitload.
threads, it seems like, for some of you. And as you consider that this is somebody who their watch has kind of ended, so to speak, you begin to think about how helpful. Oh, and you jolted into this, like, out of this beautiful moment and back
Yeah.
into this cold place. Morwen sings a
Jaunty.
very
shanty.
jaunty song about you're dead, so you don't have to swab the poop deck anymore. And,
There you go.
It's this great upbeat song that I'll write later.
It's respectful but upbeat
yeah.
Okay.
It's
and humorous.
It's one of those like real, like, it's a funeral that's sad because somebody's dead, but they
Right.
wanted it to be fun, and so it's a pretty
Right.
fun funeral.
It's a celebratory kind of thing.
You kind of take a moment
Grieving
and
through partying.
recenter yourself. But as you do, and as you guys do progress out into the snow, there is a moment where you do, again, it is kind of you get this sense that was a good thing to do. Make a perception check as you progress. You don't need to make a survival check. It's one kind of path that gets a little wider and a little narrower places.
21.
Yeah. It is tough going. It's getting progressively steeper, but without too much trouble, you walk 20 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, ever winding slowly around and rising up this peak. You reach after an hour a portion where the really, really wide path, almost 30 feet for some time now, suddenly seems to have maybe collapsed or crumbled. There's still a ledge, but only about this wide. It spans maybe 45 feet, and then the path continues, kind of broken again. And there's this big, wide area, and you can see it winds into a cave that seems to go begin to descend down.
So the path goes
And-
into a cave.
Yeah, so the path.
There's
it
no way
is-
to like stay outside, kind of.
So, I mean, you can't really see. You can see that
Ah.
it twists into a cave. Maybe it continues.
Okay,
From
gotcha,
this
gotcha.
juncture, it's hard to tell. But there is, again, really narrow, maybe a foot, foot and a half wide, 45-foot long, icy ledge that leads to the rest of the path.
Well,
Want to make a bridge?
Sure.
And then I point. I'm like,
That's gonna take a while.
You're
Oh,
really
no, not literally.
You're really being Elsa.
It has just been Guntir going around going, and just building things out of snow.
Someone said that earlier, being like, I always picture Guntir just being like, let it go when he builds the house.
let it go!
And it's like this like shitty little shack. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
It's a
kidding.
snow house.
Yeah.
Are you using
I was a suggestion that Heinrich just put forth to Guntir, being like, I don't want to fall, and I know that.
Take out my smithing tool and I go, oh, if you want.
No. The like how we make the shelter.
Ah!
Yeah.
He makes an exact sound. It's like a very, very quiet. And as he does, the wind swirls and the flakes of snow begin to condense. And as they do, elements rise up from the mountain, and it is this perfectly pristine.
I'm gonna make it like sort of suspension bridge style. That's like almost like
Up to
Make a
code.
Make a performance check.
Make it up to code.
Yeah,
Don't make it too cray.
Give it a fucking
No,
handrail,
make it like-
please.
It's not in the details, it's in the quality.
Like, nice decorative archway.
Yeah, sure. Roll performance check.
Yeah, that's a solid
We pass that to Dana.
12.
It's a flat bridge, and there's
Please,
like
thank
a
you.
little foot-tall guardrail, and you can see there's like lumps that maybe you could mistake as like the busts of heads, perhaps.
Sure, like decorative. Yeah.
They're like
Thanks, you're my favorite.
Yeah.
There's a beautiful archway that at once kind of crumbles, and there's just kind of a pile of snow at the beginning of the bridge, but it's, you know, like half a foot high.
Does
as
he
you
look
walk
proud?
over it. I mean,
Does he look proud? Do you
I don't
look
know.
proud?
Does he?
Like, could be better.
Okay. I'd be like, well, good job, thank you.
Not my worst work.
No, you're getting better at this, Guntir.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we cross.
So yeah,
One at a time.
no problem. You assemble this bridge of snow, and one at a time, with Shay leading, I assume.
Yeah.
Make your way across. Shay, make a perception check for me
I
when
would
you have a
also-
chance.
oh.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
I also want to. Is it smooth?
Yes, this
Alright.
bridge is very smooth.
So I'm gonna wait for them to go ahead a little bit,
Okay.
and then towards the end, I'm gonna like run and like risky business it across.
Okay. You do that.
I've never seen that movie, but I
Make a
know it's a
performance
thing.
check, just for fun.
Okay.
God, don't roll a 1 and die.
Oh boy.
Critical ones don't
That's an
happen on,
18.
I know.
I get a +8 in performance.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
18? Okay.
Have you met Morwen?
You guys cross the bridge. What was your perception check?
23.
23.
Fucking skill. Look at that.
As you're crossing,
Turn around.
Please.
you
Where's
don't,
Morwen?
You don't see Morwen's great side. Everybody else sees this sick Morwen like runs, and you guys are like, "Where's Morwen?" You turn,
And
right
she's
as
just
you
like
turn,
out of the snow.
Wow.
I'd be like, whoa,
and like
that's
goes
pretty cool.
past you guys. Like you almost have to kind of like put your claws out a little bit to stop. It's like pretty
That was
sick.
pretty.
You don't see this
Cool.
because you are
Gonna be
focused
like,
on this shape.
Uh-huh.
Off in the distance, no more than maybe like 100 feet up, large, and it kind of disappears into the gray.
Let's go into the cave real fast.
Did you see something?
Yep, let's go.
What's
Okay,
up?
okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Just like dead sprint.
Yep.
What'd you say?
I'm
Sprinting?
sprinting after.
We're sprinting.
Okay.
oh shit, I'm
You guys begin
sprinting.
to book it more, just like get up and starts running.
What are we sprinting from?
Just get there.
As you
Get
guys
where?
run, Shay, you're aware of again now in front of you, up somewhere in the darkness, and now the snow begins to move as large wings begin to beat. This shape suddenly coalesces into view.
Oh no!
Oh my god, Joe, cute!
Ah!
Oh my god,
Too
I
bad the
really wish
camera
our
is-
stream was working because the river's still up.
We've got pictures of it if the stream doesn't get back.
Oh, I wish you guys could see this because we have like 3D
3D
stuff going on.
Joe,
Pictures.
Oh my
It's
god,
fine.
it's so cute.
Styro terraformed. Styro terraformed.
So you guys, at the moment, are running across. We'll say you made it halfway. Well, if you're full sprinting.
Yeah.
Shay's right at the mouth of the cave.
Uh-huh.
Guntir is back here. You were second.
Yeah.
And Morwen would be able to make about 10 feet. in
Yeah, I was
front
about to say I'm faster than
of
them
you.
all.
We'll see you on the side.
Meow.
And as all of this is happening,
Yeah, we're booned. We done got booned.
in front of you, from the snow, I'll change this a little bit. Well,
I just think it's funny
it's huge!
that on the
You should've
screen
taken the
we're
picture
like
then.
technically still on the
Oh
river.
jeez.
But
Okay,
Oh,
I'm gonna-
jeez,
I'm
it
gonna-
is
it's fine,
the
it's fine.
Oh jeez.
It's fine.
of wings, and then this thud. The snow shakes off of the tree, collapsing into a pile, and there is a loud screech as this massive creature unfurls its wings. This large proboscis, still somewhat short, but now growing fresh out of the back of its tail. You can see like this greenish saliva dripping out of its mouth, and as it continues to shriek, because it is about to be midnight. And this is a great place to
That's
end.
perfect, yeah. Not like turn 2 in a combat.
That is what we're going to finish for tonight. So,
Oh, fuck. Jeez. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
That's
great.
not looking great.
We were doomed. It's fine.
man. Yeah, so, really, you guys made it fairly far, actually. Like, you traveled a decent distance in a session.
Yeah, we didn't stop and, sniff every fucking rose hole.
No, but you also found a lot of great stuff.
We
There's
did.
a lot of
I'm
lore
excited
that's
for the fucking
finally
email.
connecting,
I'm so excited for the
from,
fucking
like,
email.
From the beginning of the campaign,
Yeah.
stuff is starting to fall into place.
So you don't have to start writing. You don't have to write shit every day.
So, can we show it to my camp? Yeah, actually,
Oh, I was just texting. Oh, can you?
I mean, if you wanted to just tilt that.
Oh my god,
camera.
yeah. Hold on. Can we do
I'm,
like a...
I'm not.
I'm gonna,
Yeah, Miles, you
I'm
should
gonna
do
do what's called a... No, I'm just kidding.
What? I can send you pictures and you can.
Alright, sorry.
It'll also be on the
We
Instagram,
will have
and it's
pictures
where we're
on
picking up
Instagram,
next week.
Facebook, Twitter.
Allie, tell me if this is
But
gonna
real
catch it.
quick,
Oh, shit, everyone. Holy crap.
Look at this production value here.
Well, there's the lag, so I don't know. There's like that delay.
Look on the TV. Look on the TV.
Well, Miles is in front of it.
I'm going to
Either
hold it
way.
like this for a little while.
Perhaps you can see.
Be
All
sure
right,
to
guys,
like
we're
and
trying.
subscribe.
You'll be able to see.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's so cute.
So, you know, we're starting to progress into 3D terrain. Actually, a huge part because of people like Talon
Kids.
who show
Yes.
up and donate bits and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. You guys are the ones that have actually brought us from when, about a year ago, actually next week, officially, will be the year mark of our campaign.
Yeah.
Oh my
Weird.
God.
We've
That's
only
so
been
weird.
streaming
I've
for
only had
about
jobs for a year consistently.
5,
Oh my
6
God, it was
months.
only a year ago I met you guys.
Yeah.
That's so weird. It's like we've been friends forever.
Man, now I lost my train of thought. I don't even remember what I was saying.
It's
Next
gonna be
week-
the anniversary.
Terrain.
1 week and 1 year
Right.
anniversary.
Next year, so you guys, the support that you guys have given, tuning in every week, liking, following, and subscribing, checking out the social media, telling your friends about us, that has brought us from playing this game in random locations every week, with like real funky white paper maps and
Like
you know
a camera.
a camera. No, we didn't have a camera at first.
Oh,
The
no,
first-
when we started?
yeah.
No.
It went from that home game into what it is now. We're starting to move towards 3D terrain for this year. There are people out there watching probably right now who we have placed orders from, and there is a lot of stuff on the way. So, 3D terrain in 2020, the year of advantage.
I like that so much better.
Yeah. For this evening, we
Let's
are
focus on
all
that more.
set. We're going to be back next week, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for, I want to say it's episode 25, The Wyvern.
And congratulations
So
to
see
that.
you- Oh, congratulations! Right,
DOS
to
DOS
DOS
949.
949. We'll get the details to you tonight or tomorrow about those dice. Talon, your shirt will go out this week. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.